people filing in here, it looks like. Looks like everything's working. It makes the YouTubes look green. I'll have to work on that later. But looks like we're good here. Did somebody send me a linky link? You sent me a linky link. Right. Let's go to our faces.
Huh.
Right. Looks like everything's working. Welcome, everybody. We are live on the interwebs. We're streaming episode 300
Hello,
here
everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
EJ's in his car.
EJ's in his car, like
I
you
live
do.
in a car. I live in a van down by the river.
Down by the river.
I
So-
lost all my money and scammed NFT.
Yeah.
My greatest fears come to life.
Wait, would that be EJ living in a van down by the river, or you?
Yeah, yourself.
Yeah.
The greatest fear is
I don't
EJ.
care what happens to EJ. No.
All right, I'm gonna.
Just meet outside of David's house. Hi, David.
Hi, David. You can stay in my basement.
I can see you through the window.
Yeah, how come you're not down in your basement yet? Have you not set that up?
No, I haven't. We haven't built it out yet, but
Okay.
we're planning to in the near future. It's just like I don't know how much taxes are going to cost this year. So
Yeah,
that's
that's my issue
like,
too.
is it going to be $100 grand? Is it going to be $200 grand? We don't
Right.
know. So,
Yeah, I know we're holding off on building. This is like total first world problems. We're holding off on building an outdoor patio, like covering until we know how much taxes are.
The
Right.
taxes. All right, I'm
taxes, the
rolling.
bigger
If
thing
y'all
means
want
the
to
taxes.
roll as well, and I'm going to accept
let's
EJ.
I am rolling. Yes,
Let me know when you're good, and I'll do the little clap thing.
I'm good.
Cool.
I'm good.
All right. All right, let's do the clap. 1, 2, 3.
Holding
Yeah, it worked real well.
Good job, EJ. Well done.
Yeah.
I'm holding the phone.
Hold the phone.
Hold the phone.
All right.
How do y'all like our new graphics package? Is it good? Like it?
Hopefully it works.
I haven't seen it yet.
This is the
'cause I
first
keep
time we've tried
looking
it.
at the Skype screen. But let me look over at the. Do something fancy. Make a wipe happen. Do a star wipe.
No, I
Oh,
mean
those
all
are
the
the
wipes
same.
are all the same.
It's just new
Okay.
basic
the whole layout
graphics.
is every.
This is the first time I've seen the little
cool.
tags though, and they're like
Yeah, it looks
green
really cool.
YouTube, green YouTube and like red. I got to work on that a little.
Yeah, is the chat box different?
Mm-hmm.
It's over on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We moved it to the left.
Yeah.
And there's
Yes.
like some special motion graphics in the background. It kind of looks like, oh, it's that thing that Dave made.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
but it's,
That's the way we can change it. We can change it
Change
with
the,
each
the
season.
seasonal background.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Mm.
so fancy.
All right.
Yep.
I think we are ready to do a show. Y'all feel
Do
good?
it.
Feeling good? Feeling good? It's gonna be fun.
Mhm.
I'm tired. But
Yeah, I
feeling
know.
great.
Tell me about it.
I'm feeling great.
Sometimes that makes it funnier.
Oh God,
Yeah, that's true.
Skype is being really dumb right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
you're so
sound
breaking up.
sound all scratchy and stuff.
Yeah, that's Skype.
Oh,
it was fine.
That's better.
2 minutes.
That's better.
Now it's better.
Yeah. Just do your best, and if you have to hop off, we'll just switch over. I got it
What
ready to go. We can do that. We can do this.
Slow. Yeah, maybe I can like reset or fire up. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you want to force quit Skype and reopen it before we start?
Yeah, let me jump off real quick.
Okay. Cool.
Is it bad for everyone or just for us on Skype? That's the question.
I mean, you guys sound good. You guys sound great. Yeah, we'll just wait for him to get back on real quick. I do need to put on the old.
We got Grant, we got Jeff, we got
who's up in here?
Billy Chicken, Anthony,
Neil,
all the cool people. Revelo.
Francisco,
Being tired ahead of show 3. Volt 2.
Thomas.
That's good. We should have just played Halo for the whole 300th
Right.
episode.
Oh, that would be good.
Like 2 hours of Halo and just talked the whole time.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Yeah. We could stream the movie 300 and
That would be
Mental.
terrible.
Yeah, just like point out all the green screen shots and try to analyze it. Or
right.
something.
The first time I saw, like, I could never get through 300 and Sin City, you know? Like those were back when like it was all like everything was green screen and they were recreating everything from scratch. Something about it felt like claustrophobic, you know? Like it just didn't feel right. It always felt weird.
Maybe it was just not a big enough green screen studio, or maybe just the techniques at first made it feel kind of claustrophobic. Yeah.
I could never get through the whole thing without having like a small panic attack.
How we sounding, EJ? We sound better?
Better, yeah. I don't know what's up with Skype on my phone,
You
but
sound fine.
like once you let it run for long enough, it just starts to like, oh yeah, it forgets it's Skype and it needs to be shit.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll just start and we'll roll with it. We'll see what happens. You ready?
Do it live.
All right, we'll do it live. What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt. Joining us today are our good friends, Mr. David Ariew, and from his car, Mr. EJ Hassenfraz.
Hey,
I
everybody.
live in a car now. I got NFT scanned.
And Mograph is a supplement to
took
our
my
site,
seed phrase.
mograph.com, which
They
is a
took my
motion
seed
graphics
phrase.
tutorial
They
site
took
with
my seed phrase, my boy.
tutorials, plugins,
My boy.
podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man.
Ooh,
Or
that
being
was
in your
so-
car,
so-
yeah.
so suspenseful.
You can email us, info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, show topic ideas, artist suggestions. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and mograph.com. Check us out on all the things. And this week, it's show 300. We're here.
300.
300. Not much
It
of a
doesn't
plan.
feel like that long since 200.
I know,
honestly.
right?
Yeah.
Like that was
Yeah, it was
a
only
couple
like
years ago.
100 episodes ago.
Yeah, that was like
I
100
know,
episodes.
that was like
ago.
100
Yeah.
weeks ago or something.
Weird.
So we have not much planned, but I'm sure we will still fill plenty of time. EJ,
Yeah, I know, Billy. We didn't
EJ
even
may
make it
come
through
and
the
go.
intro.
I know.
And it's
It's
so
off the
funny
rails at the
because, like,
beginning.
we got like 2 seasoned veterans who have been on how many episodes, and they just talked over the entire thing.
right?
Yeah, well, this is what we do, especially on shows like this. It's just like, yeah, there's no plan. Let's just shoot the shit and make a giant
You
mess.
know we're wild cards. I mean, come on.
That's true.
Yeah, we're very
Wild
disrespectful
card.
to
I'm
the
the wild
rules of the
card.
show at this
Wild
point
card.
because we're seasoned veterans.
That's right.
That's funny.
I'm a seasoned veteran. I do what I want.
I do what I want.
Francisco said we need to be shirtless for this. I don't think you want to see that. You
You
don't
don't
want to
want
see that. Maybe
Owen
maybe
wants
for
it.
EJ, but
Look how pale I am. It's so you don't want that.
Even
Yeah,
that-
look at that.
YouTube might ban us for
Should
that.
have worn like those ab shirts though.
yeah.
I went to the Dude Perfect live show this weekend. It was my kid's birthday present from like 3 years ago, but it kept on getting canceled because of COVID, right? And so we finally went, and one of the, I don't know if y'all have ever seen it, but like they do this segment called Cool Not Cool, where they show off like, you know, someone shows off a thing that they got and they have to, you know, say, oh, I think that's cool or not. Anyway, one of them was like this full-on muscle suit, you know,
Nice.
like with like abs and everything. It's like, yeah, I need to get me one of those.
One of
Look
those.
good.
Yeah, we are not on Facebook because all of Facebook is down right now. So unfortunately, we're not streaming on there. I'll have to post a link to it or something. And so whatever. If we do have a new graphics package for those of you who are actually watching,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I worked hard on it.
Oh, boy.
Worked hard on it.
Oh boy, what's
But-
EJ doing
It's too-
now?
It's getting
Uh-oh.
too hot in my car.
Oh,
I'm gonna go on my patio, my car
That's-
patio.
yeah, that's probably better.
guys, and then I'm gonna, you know,
Gotta go mow the lawn real
Go mow the
quick.
Go mow the
lawn.
lawn in my.
walk Gus, and you know.
so what are we gonna do? Actually, I have a couple questions here. We might take some calls later if we feel like it. Not
Yeah.
at the moment, but we might do that. Got that kind of set up to go. I do want to mention real quick, though, before we really get into it, the scholarship program has been extended. We have quite a few. I apologize for the sirens behind me, but they found me.
I don't know how, but they found me.
I don't know how, but
Run
they found
for it,
me.
Marty!
the scholarship has been extended to October 31st. We wanted to extend it. We got some really great entries for the Unreal Scholarship. We didn't get quite as many for Houdini, and I feel like we haven't been pushing it enough and like spreading the word enough. So if you know anybody that you think is really good for transitioning into adding Houdini to their arsenal of things, and they just can't afford to purchase the software and the training and all of that, please share this scholarship program with them. It's mograph.com/scholarship. You can pick the Unreal one or the Houdini one and apply. And we've got some great judges, and all the info's on the site, but I just wanted to mention that before we get going. So that's all the week wrap up that I have for today. And so I wanted to start out and get us going in this conversation real quick by asking EJ about R25.
That UI, bro. Tell us about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you hear about it? No one's been talking about it, I feel like.
I heard about it, but I haven't played with it yet. How is it?
You know, it if you've watched, I think that explains it all. I will say that there are some things that are nice. There's some things that are not so great, but I think if you sit with it long enough, it's actually like some things make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, now that they're on this like subscription plan, like hopefully like they could, if enough people complain, like, why the hell did you bury reset transform button in the thing? Or like, why the hell are the check boxes that used to be green, like grayed out? So like, you don't even know if like that check box is there. It's a lot of weird color things that they took away, that as an artist, you're like looking for those green check boxes that are no longer there and stuff like that.
What
so
green check boxes are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out.
Like that you activate like a deform or a object, right?
Oh,
The
right.
check box,
Oh,
Those aren't there anymore?
they're there, but they're gray. They're not green.
ew, that's gross.
Yeah. So
Oh.
little
Is
things
there a
like
way to go back?
Ew.
Ew.
how dare
Ew,
they?
David.
It's funny how
Ew.
like just the smallest differences will either make people really happy or extremely angry.
Yeah.
Like,
Fun fact
Yeah.
about the Ooh David, for any Schitt's Creek fan out there.
oh, see, I don't know this.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
you should watch it.
Shit.
It's a very
I've
Oh.
seen the
good
first
show.
episode. I mean, I need to watch more, obviously, but
Yeah.
I wasn't sucked in after the first episode, so.
So Ooh David, which everyone says, anyone who
Mhm.
watches the show knows
Mhm.
Ooh David. They say that line one time
I know.
in the entire
Yeah.
show.
And it became a
Ew,
meme?
And
David.
it became a thing.
Yeah.
Weird. It's
Yeah,
weird
but
how
she,
that
also,
happens.
she does say David or no
David.
David,
Or ew.
whatever,
It says
you know.
David, son, but not Ooh David.
Right.
So for anyone, I mean, that's your learning experience for the 300th episode today.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like that surprise mother effer thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
surprise.
realize that was from Dexter. I think Revelo or somebody told me that. Dave, did you tell me that last night?
Yeah, but wasn't
were
it
playing
also
Halo.
like a popular Vine? There was a guy on Vine who did it
Oh,
all the
okay,
time
okay.
too, and he like French fries, mother. Like he would just
Okay, so
change.
he expanded on it and
Yeah.
memeified it. Okay.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, but R25. So here's my take. I haven't had a chance to play with it yet, and I want to. And I think what I'm gonna do. I've been busy because we're about to have a baby, so I haven't installed it yet. And I feel like there may be some downtime, a little bit, that I might be able to play around with that when I'm not working. And I think forcing myself to use the interface is the way I'm gonna go about it. I don't know about y'all.
I think the problem with it all is like everyone has their own experiences with their own setup, but I've heard that it's pretty unstable. Like I've tried Redshift RT. Like for the love of God, save anytime you turn on Redshift RT, because it's crazy unstable there.
Isn't that in beta though?
Yeah,
Okay. Well.
but I'm just saying like save because it's pretty unstable. But it is cool to see like, ooh, this is really fast, and like that's the first, like Octane's Brigade isn't in beta yet, but I hope we can start to see, because we've heard about Brigade for so long and RT for so long, and we're like, we see Eevee all the time, and it's like, oh, like come on, like I want to get that for C4D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's cool that we're starting to see a little bit of it. But one thing
See,
I
the
will
biggest
say
problem. the biggest problem with all these updates, you know, is especially when you're working with a studio, you know, for example, Dave and I had a big project that we worked on this year, you know, and we were on 23 all through it, couldn't update to 24 when 24 came out, you know, and now once 25 is announced, we got picked up on another job that's lasting until March, and they're using 23, and it's like, like their entire farm is set up for 23, and it's like, okay, so at what point are we supposed to, you know, upgrade and stuff like that?
Right.
You know, it's like
I'm still on 22 and 23.
Yeah.
There's no real. I guess like the 24 had the brush. I feel like it's the major quality of life improvements that'll get me to upgrade. Like R20 was huge because of fields, and so that was like a major thing that would cause me to upgrade. But if it's just like UI changes, then I just don't care that much, you know?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Like, it's a lot to retrain your brain. Like,
Absolutely.
I've been using it since beta, so like a month now, and I'm still like, what the hell? Like, where's this thing? Like, there's a lot of things that like. A lot of things are like, I always talk about reducing pixel miles, like the amount of distance your mouse travels across the screen. And there are some things like putting all the objects right near the object manager. That's cool. But then there's some things where they moved the like point, edge, and polygon selection tools away from where like the like model mode button is, where you can actually select objects. So now you have to like go up to the top to grab your point tool or point selection mode, and then go to the left to get your like your move tool or whatever. And before that was all on the left, you know. So that's one thing that I'm like,
bless you.
That's one thing you have to get used to.
But you can go back to the previous interface, right? Isn't there like a mode to just go back to how it used to be?
Right. And I don't like
and like if you're like using C4D, if you're like an advanced user, or even like just in the program every day, it makes sense to like configure the software to yourself, you know?
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. Yeah. You know, because I don't think two people use C4D the same way.
Right.
You know, like everyone does it differently. And then I think once you reach a certain level, you know, you start to customize your screen by yourself and how you like it. So
yeah, but I think
updates like this, I don't think are going to affect you that much.
I think it's better though if you're going to customize that, you customize the new interface and not try and go back to the old and customize.
Right. Yeah. Start with the new one and then bring back the things you loved about the old one. Like get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Billy said something that he said you can just edit the icon sheet. You don't need to pay for subscriptions to get that back. It's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Oh, because they were talking about the fact that there are some things that have been somehow added back in through GSG Plus, I guess, or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Chad Ashley made something to get the green ticks back.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's all those little things. Also, like, I feel like we're gonna... I love Maxon, but sometimes they don't do themselves any favors by like not marketing the cool features very well. Like the track modifier tag, I think is like super cool. And I just saw someone today do something really cool with capsules combined with like fields and stuff like that. And he made this like cool like energy tune.
Yeah, I saw that one. That one was super cool. Yeah, that was rad.
I didn't see that.
That's using a couple capsules and like and I feel like
is the track modifier tool is like time tracks, is that right? But like an upgrade to it?
Yeah, it's a parametric version of that, so you don't
have
to
rad.
Like do the track, dragging the thing like that.
Right. It was a pain in the ass. So many people never even knew about time tracks.
Yeah.
And it's also funny because they added some icons to the interface, so like the doodle tool is there, which I think probably there's a lot of people out there that didn't even know what the doodle tool was or like how you can use it. And then there was also, they added the cappuccino button, and people were like, oh, I'm so glad and I saw some people saying like, oh, I'm so glad they brought back cappuccino, and I'm like,
it's like it was always there.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that they said.
The Powerball.
Powerball.
Capsules and fields.
Interesting.
That's cool.
But how is that different than like if you were on R20? What's the new feature that they're using to
I
create
think
So it's
Capsule,
yeah,
right?
capsules is just the name of their like node thing, right?
Yeah,
Am
it's
I
their
wrong there?
it's basically what when they go to this new node-based version, capsules are like instead of the cloner object, there's going to be a capsule cloner object where you can dig into the guts and see all the nodes and like customize it and build your own plugins basically if you wanted to
Weird.
out of a cloner. So the
So-
capsules like front-facing.
capsule to me just means the primitive object. I'm like
You're
totally-
right. Me too.
What I don't understand.
Well, no, I mean it is. Capsules are the node-based versions of all your standard C4D objects.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't even
Basic-
know that.
You know,
Okay.
we've talked about how cool it would be, a long time ago, how cool it would be, like with Houdini, you can like go into the individual nodes and readjust things from there.
Yes.
You know, to be able to go into some of these other things, and that's basically what they're doing here with
Right.
capsules.
Thomas
Not the
said
primitive capsules,
capsules,
but capsules
equals
as its
HDA.
own thing.
Is HDA
Well,
Houdini digital
what is-
assets basically like where you can go in to and
Yeah.
promote
Okay.
like different
Yep.
parameters and all that
Okay.
kind of stuff.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
all that stuff that's over my head sounds great.
Yeah, right.
It's stuff that I feel like
Well,
I would be really into if I had the time. Just like I really love working with Espresso when I have a minute to work with Espresso.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing though is that the promise of capsules is that you're gonna have like the power of Houdini, but only have that capsule, that nice capsule UI with your parameters and stuff, and you never
Mhm.
have to really dig into Espresso because if you think about
Okay.
it, like like cloners are a bunch of freaking Python code, but you never
Yeah.
have to dig into Python code. But
Right.
if you know Python, you could do some cool stuff with it. You make your own
Yeah.
plugins and sell your own plugins, blah blah blah. So like
Mhm.
Yeah.
they have a few cool things that like I think people can start using right away. One is a capsule where you can parametrically adjust the axis. So if you have a cube,
Ooh.
parametric
Oh,
object,
that's a game
You can
changer. It's so dumb that you can't move the axis
I
on
know.
Yeah.
parametric
With-
objects.
with capsules you can do that, and they
I
have like
see.
a greeble thing, and you can procedurally model too. So you can do like procedural bevels and inner extrudes, which are called inset now.
Why do they keep changing all the names?
I don't know.
I don't like
What you don't
change.
you yeah, I mean I'm still using
Hypernerve,
hyper
man.
nerves over here.
Yeah, come
Yeah,
on.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
It just
That
it's
was
so
a way cooler name anyway.
Yeah.
Like, and like, come on, reset PSR. Now it's what reset transform. I guess that makes more sense, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. You know.
all I'll say is that when you use R25, the commander is your best friend because you're like,
Yeah.
where the hell
Yeah.
did the thing go? Oh, just
But the thing is,
commander.
you'll get so used to using the commander, you're gonna stop using all the buttons.
That's fine.
You know?
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I use it. Yeah, I use a bit of both. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Buttons
use
are nice and satisfying to click. So
Shift C all the time. All the time.
yeah.
One
Yeah.
of the
You know,
most
what, you know what they say? ABC. Always be
Always
shift seeing.
Shift C.
Yeah. A B Shift
One of the
C.
most oh god. One of the most ridiculous. Let me say my joke.
Let's keep interrupting
Yeah.
EJ.
But
It's the hey, what's that? It's the interrupting EJ. One of the most ridiculous things I've seen is people are like, "Oh, this looks like Blender now. This looks like Blender now." Which
You-
Blender
you made
also
that
looks
joke.
like, which also looks like Maya. No. It was a joke based off of tweets I was seeing.
Oh.
Mm.
oh,
Or what?
okay.
One person's like, "This looks like Blender now. I'm just gonna use Blender now." Like
but
what?
why though?
Why?
Why? Because it looks like Blender. I'm gonna go use Blender now.
Doesn't
Okay.
make sense. But okay. Yeah. Weird.
I don't understand all the hate with. It's like Blender. It's a what's the phrase? Misery loves company. You know, it's like Blender people just want everyone to use Blender.
Yeah.
I don't get
Yeah.
it. Just
Just use what you
the
like.
tool that you-
yeah.
Why not?
Oh,
All right.
You don't
Can't-
use
can't make
Blender.
sweeping generalizations about, you know, it's very, very racist. No, I'm just saying.
So I guess the general consensus for R25 is just dive in, just
Yeah.
do it. Just do it.
I mean, the thing is, we're all eventually going to get there anyway,
Right.
You know, and we're all going to grumble, and you know, I'm sure Maxon knew
Just
that
one
was going to
round.
happen. We were all going to grumble about the
Right.
interface, but here it is, and let's just get it over with.
Yeah.
And we'll learn it, and then be fine.
Because if you stick,
One
oh
really,
sorry, go
really
ahead.
small thing. Just sorry, this is a random bitch, but back in R20, when you hit the space bar, it used to switch back to the live selection tool no matter what. And just that small change, now it just switches between the two previous tools that you've used. But just that small change throws me so much because now there's not like, that used to be my shortcut for the live selection tool.
Right.
But now it's like you have to go hit 9. Where the hell is that on the keyboard? All the way up there? No way.
It's a lot of
Gotta do
travel
everything with
space.
my
Nobody got time for
left
that?
hand. Like I put a lot of effort into making sure I don't have to move my hand at all.
Yeah.
It's the laziest,
Right.
Shift C. Just Shift C.
Yeah.
Shift C.
The
He always
Just Shift C live selection tool.
because the thing about
Yeah.
like using R23 for now or whatever for now, which a lot of us are doing because we're working on projects, is that by the time we get to 25, and by the time some of the new ones roll out,
27 will be out.
but you're
yeah.
gonna need to know that interface by then. Like that's why I'm saying just force yourself to do it. You know, do a
Yeah.
daily on it and just get into it, and you'll get used to it. It's just like muscle memory stuff. It's like switching to Windows. You know.
or mount Wacom, like
Yeah.
I needed to commit to a Wacom for 2 weeks and then I was fine. And
Right.
it was the same thing with 4D,
Right.
This is
Like
so
I
funny.
took a good 2 weeks working in it every day. And that's only when you can really, it's like even if you want to make a decision between Octane, Redshift, or Arnold, like you have to spend some good time with
Right.
it to really
Mhm.
feel for how it works and then make your decision, not off of
Mhm.
oh, this looks dumb. This
Yeah.
looks like Blender.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like just spend some time with it.
Yeah.
Take it out on a date, buy it a nice steak dinner, and never call it again.
I like Ad Morris.
Yeah, this is really
comment. Embarrassingly, Blender users are the vegans of CG.
Or like I say,
Oh.
CrossFitters. You know.
right. The cross.
Yeah, know how you as a Blender user, they tell you.
Oh, nice. Billy's got a fancy script that switches between live select and rectangle select.
Nice.
There
you go.
But yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he says he didn't realize that the change took place that I'm talking about with the just the simple spacebar thing. Yeah, that
They added a cool widget to the UI that is actually the previously used tool, so that's kind of cool. What else? There's a lot, there is a lot of cool things like that, like the search, the filter search, and the tags. Like if you right click on an object and you get that full tag list, and there's like so many tags, you can like search for like constraint and just type in CON.
Oh,
and
good.
it filters
that's
out
Because I
nice.
still don't know. They changed the
Where the
layout of
tags
that
are.
Right.
like
exactly
years ago, and I still don't. I
Yeah.
don't know where
Me
everything
too.
else is. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And that's the
So,
worst because
it's
you
what
couldn't
it's-
shift C those.
Yeah.
You could shift that though.
Could you?
Could
You
you?
could.
Oh.
Constraint
okay.
tag.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know
you
you
just
could
have
do
to
that.
have that object selected that you wanted to add it to, I think.
All right.
But
Well,
you can shift C.
let's shift some gears here because I've got some.
Let's
I've got
shift
some.
C over to something.
Let's
else.
shift C over to. let's,
Shift C back to you.
Yeah, let's shift C to the rise of Mograph. I wanted to get our 300 conversation going a little bit, and do like
Go way back.
kind of a retrospective or something, know.
Okay.
And so the first thing that I was going to bring up was just the rise of Mograph in general, and early Mograph, and your influences, the GSGs, the video co-pilots, how you kind of got into
Damn.
this, the classic tutorials. Because when we started this show, it was, what year did we even start this show? 2015?
Long time ago. 2015, 2016, something like that.
Well, 300
It was
episodes.
300 episodes
yeah.
ago.
Well, okay.
300
so that's
and then some.
okay.
Since we've done
So it's-
specials and
a little 6 years plus.
sure.
Okay, so in
What was
that,
that first E that you guys went to, where
What'd you say?
we all met?
oh,
That
NAB.
was What was?
Yeah,
When was that?
Good question.
That was the limo,
2016.
right?
It was the
Wasn't
one where
that the limo?
Presented, yeah, and
Yeah.
well, it was the limo where nobody went on the limo except for me.
Yeah.
I was drunk and they had to take me to the airport.
Yeah.
Because
You were
EJ got
drunk
you drunk.
and
On
Willie
sour
had
beers.
to
Yeah,
limo
on sour
with
beers.
her.
Yeah, that was it 2015 or 2016?
I think it was
feel like it's
2016.
sour
It might be
beers.
2016. Because
I
you
bet
guys,
I could-
if you guys started the show in 2015, I feel like it was almost a year into the show when
Yeah.
we finally like met in person.
Yeah. And so it was.
Yeah, I would look, but Instagram is down.
Oh, I know
so-
everything's down.
Gosh,
So
good.
here's the thing. Even in that short amount of time, a lot has changed. Like a lot has changed.
Yeah.
We were on like Octane version 2.
Yeah.
We
And
were
they just had
yeah.
motion blur as a new feature.
Yeah, we were like
Yeah.
so like in that short amount of time.
And one day that'll get fixed.
Right. What's wrong with motion blur? Motion blur is mostly great. I mean, actually, it does
It's
do some
crashy.
really annoying things. from time to time.
It's crashy.
I
for
love
me.
motion blur,
yeah.
but it's crashy.
Yeah. And it often doesn't show up properly unless you
Right.
refresh and stuff
Right.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it'll, if you've got like something nested underneath your camera and you're moving the camera, then it'll blur out, unless you put an Octane object tag on there. And even then,
Yep.
it only shows up properly if you are like moving a few frames at a time. But if you move too far, then it just streaks out again. So yeah, there are definitely annoying things.
Yeah.
Often it's like, I'll have to do this dance of like playing with the Octane object tag and trying to get the settings right for certain motion blur. Because there's some setting in the Octane object tag that's like enabled for check updates or something like that.
Yeah.
Or and that sometimes fixes it, or sometimes you got to bake the camera and bake the object to fix stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's very finicky. Sometimes it's true, but
Yeah.
And motion blur and particles can be really annoying. Like
Yeah.
I had an issue this weekend where I was just trying to do the simplest kind of like, I just started with an X particles like snow sim, but it's like ash falling from the sky, so close enough. But it just like how you're supposed to be able to put an Octane object tag on the emitter and get it to just enable particle rendering basically for instances, right?
Yeah.
That didn't work for me in the latest version of Octane at all.
Really?
Like just wasn't working at all. So I like had to revert back to 2020 1.5 and then it just started working again. So it's just stuff like that, really annoying.
Huh,
But
interesting.
with I guess the relationship to motion blur there was that at first I was trying to hack it by putting the platonic object in the generator.
Yeah.
But then I've got like a million actual instances that are not bypassing the
Ooh.
viewport. So like motion blur, when I tried to turn that on, it was like taking 10 minutes per frame to even launch a frame.
Why are,
So it was like
why are you using a generator in the first place? You're
I'm
using
saying-
X particles, right?
I'm saying that I at first when that issue was happening where
Oh.
I couldn't use particle rendering, I was just bypassing it with
gotcha.
the generator.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that was
Yeah,
slowing
yeah.
everything down so horribly. So
Yeah.
the answer
I have a
is just
tendency not
reverting.
to use generators. Generators.
No, me neither.
Like, yeah.
Like if I can avoid it, but like the particle rendering just wasn't working at all in Octane.
weird.
For
That's so
me.
weird.
So just stuff like that is annoying. But yeah, and then the motion blur thing made it much worse. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was rendering out something. I was helping out Mitch Myers one time. He needed some extra render power, and we were wondering why this render was taking so long. Is because he was using X particles and had motion blur on every single particle, and it was
Right.
like exponentially increasing the render
Wow.
time for each frame.
Well,
that was a
you
long
should
time
be
ago. I
able to
don't know
do
if it
that.
still does that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I just saw that now they've got a fancy like, or with like fluid sims you can do now you can do motion blur with X particles. There's
Mhm.
like just one tick box that creates those 3 vertex tags. I think
That's
it's called
cool.
like velocity transfer or something like
That's
that.
nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Yeah.
even in that stuff, at that point when we started doing a show and we all met each other and everything, that was already the kind of the dawn of the GPU rendering age. But even
Yeah.
before that, there was a lot going on. We were still in that world back in the CPU days. I remember watching EJ when I was working at an ad agency, watching EJ up on stage and Matthias was introducing him. Didn't know any of y'all at the time. And back in those days, it was, full on GSG every day. You know what I mean? There weren't a lot of resources. How did y'all
Yep.
get into this in the first place?
Making stupid Zelda parodies with my friends in undergrad. That's how I started getting into filmmaking. Then it was like, video editing for a while, and eventually finding After Effects, because I definitely gravitated towards the software more than like shooting. You know, I'm just like pretty clumsy in general. So the shooting was not my forte, but I mean, I don't know. I was just at first dabbling in everything, like any and all post-production jobs, like shooting, editing,
A lot of
color
color
grading.
stuff too, right? Yeah.
A lot of color, a lot of VFX, you know, just like experimenting with all the stuff and things, and eventually honing in on 3D is the thing that I loved, which is weird because at first I hated 3D. I hated doing the Cinema 4D jobs that we had at our company back in the day probably because rendering was so damn slow. You know, just the boxes and trying to light things properly, it was just not very fun. And also all the C4D jobs we had were like stage renderings, and they were really tedious and boring, and it was just like my least favorite part of the job at first. So it took me a while to like actually fall in love with 3D. For a long time I was just all about After Effects and Andrew Kramer, because you know Andrew Kramer's hot, so what can you do?
Yeah, he is.
He is hot.
Baby blue eye.
He's a
baby blue
golden
eyes.
god.
He works out.
Breaking news. I just got this in.
Oh,
we are
boy.
going to have a hard out at about 2 o'clock.
You having a
Okay.
baby?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
shit.
2 o'clock, we got to head to the hospital.
All right.
Yeah, we've rehearsed this by going in once before, so I think we got that part down. But yeah,
Congratulations.
Is
thanks.
it actually going to happen this time?
Yeah, it's actually
Right.
going to happen this time.
Fake
No,
out.
just-
Fake
All
out.
right.
Yeah, just got
the entire
just got word from Julie, but it's not. She's like, it's not a rush. They just said, get your things packed.
So
and
that's like an hour and 20 minutes from now.
hour and
Yep.
20 minutes from now, we'll log off, and I gotta head out.
We're not
so
gonna make it.
All right.
I mean, it's not. It's fine. It'll be fine. So
Yeah, we need at
Anyway.
least 3 hours though, Dave. I'm sorry, you can't go meet
Yeah.
your baby yet.
well, you know, we'll ask her if we have permission to go till 3. You know, no, but
I'm just kidding.
no,
it
2 will be
kidding.
fine. 2 will
Hold
be
it
fine.
for an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah,
No.
can you hold it? We're on a
Yeah,
podcast.
no, she's
Yeah.
not. She's not like in labor or anything. So it's
Okay,
this is
okay.
like, get your stuff,
Yeah,
head
I'm like,
over.
why aren't you like running away
No,
right
it's,
now?
because it's a induction thing. They're like, it's not like her water broke and she's like waiting on me or anything. It's just
Oh,
the
okay,
doctor
so-
said, you know,
Could you wait a second?
Yeah.
Come on. I'm on a show.
This is the
Yeah.
300th episode. Do you know how important this is for the entire
how many
Mograph
times you
community?
have a 300?
Do you know how much we prepared for this show?
not at all. Yeah, that would be funny. I just kind of walk away with the box and y'all just keep going until the
Yeah.
internet goes out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I'll have to make up my own Dorpy jokes.
Yeah, I know.
no.
I got Dorpy
Yeah.
stuff planned
Dorpy
for.
voice. You'll have to
yeah.
do the
How
Dorpy.
bad will they be then?
Yeah.
Real bad.
Live delivery stream. Yeah. That's funny.
Oh god.
Oh
I'm
man.
sure Julie would love that.
Yeah. All the cameras I got everywhere. You never know.
It could be a call-in show. You know, get multiple people in. You know,
Name this one Maxon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, name Dave's next
Baby
kid.
Maxon.
Yeah.
Baby
Maxon.
Maxon.
It's a good. That'll be.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good middle name.
I like that. That's a
Yeah.
good man.
Just name it. Is it?
Yeah.
Is,
Not
is
that I
it
like.
It's a girl.
It's a
like,
girl.
Maya, that-
Yeah.
Renderina?
Rendering.
Renderina. Mograph.
Jules.
Jules.
Yeah.
Mograph.
Jules.
Yeah.
Jules Ju.
What did
See,
he say?
everybody would just think Jules Jr. is
Jules
because of
Julie.
Julie. Yeah.
Right, but it's
See,
actually because of
perfect.
Jules.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, that's true. I could just pipe
Oh,
in my
that's
phone and just, live stream the whole thing. No
Yeah.
big deal.
Well, you would, but Facebook Live's down, so
right?
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
yeah.
That's true. So
Do
it's,
it.
none of it's real if it's not on Facebook. So
Right.
Yep.
yeah, reality is gone. All right, so let's talk about the Maxon. Maxon said, I wonder who is Maxon right now on YouTube, because they said we vote Baby
Yeah.
Matthias.
Baby Matthias.
Yeah.
Isn't Maxon usually Kevin? Yeah, it's usually Kevin.
Yeah,
right?
but sometimes Kevin gets on to talk. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if he's flipping back and forth, or if it's
Oh, that's
Rick,
hilarious.
or
It's
maybe
Maxon
it's
Rick, or maybe it's
Paul.
Matthias.
Might be Paul.
Maybe
Yeah.
Matthias is like,
Yeah.
we vote Baby Matthias.
Baby Matthias.
I'll just have to tell her that everybody is. Everybody's
I second
voted.
that vote for
Yeah.
Baby
Yeah,
Matthias.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't let Kevin do it because he'll name it some like NFT project he's shilling at the time.
Breaking Bad or The Wire.
Name it Sweater Rats. NFT.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
sweater rats.
All right. So on that note, what we were talking about earlier in the rise of Mograph, I also wanted to talk about like networking and why it's important, and kind of do that in telling about how we all met each other, because we met kind of different ways, I guess. Like EJ, we talk. I mean, we know how David. We know how we met. It was through the show.
We owe all of our success to David Ariew.
That's true.
100%.
That is true.
That
Ridiculous to say.
That is true.
You guys are sweet as always, but I don't know.
Because you were the one that was like in.
If that's true, then I'm going to say I owe all my success to EJ, because EJ got me so many hookups. He connected me with School of Motion, boosted me with his YouTube channel and suggested I do Octane tutorials. Like, I wouldn't have very much of a social media presence today if it weren't for EJ. So there you go.
You can all kiss my feet. No, I was kidding.
all owe EJ. This is all because of you.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I'm happy to, and I wouldn't have get my start if it wasn't for like Nick Campbell, because like it was him and the community he built. I think like that's the community that we know today. It just like sprouted into so many different things. But I didn't get connected with anyone up until Nick, and like the chat rooms, like the live streams that you guys are doing now, were like you kind of took the torch and kept going with what Nick kind of started with those live streams. Because remember when they would do the GSG lives, or I don't know which came first. I think it was the Maxon live streams with Rick and oh man,
Rick and
who else? It would be Rick. It would just be Rick by himself, right? And sometimes Rob Garrett, and they would do their live streams, and then they would just like throw to Nick on GSG Live, and there was like that like Mograph Power Hour kind of deal going on. Yeah,
that's right.
And that was super cool. And it was just like, that's how I got to know. Well, also like Twitter became a thing back around that time too. So it was just like a perfect storm of like social media was beginning, and like Nick was there to help facilitate that. But like I got inspired to like, because I saw all the Chicago meetups that were going on. I was like, I need to go to like a DC meetup here, because I was in DC at the time, and they just had like a general animators meetup, and the guy was like, I knew the guy from, again, just being active online and on Twitter, and he's like, hey, we have the C4D themed one that's sponsored by Maxon. Do you know anyone who knows C4D other than yourself? And I was like, it's like, not really. Like, everyone I know is just like After Effects, because this is like back in 2011.
Yeah, it was pretty new, yeah.
And or like anyone else that was in like 3D was using Maya, because it's all government work, and you know how slow government is to like react to like new tech and stuff like that. So it was Maya was the thing that professionals use, so we're just gonna use that. And like really Mograph and C4D didn't really get popular until what, 2010?
Yeah, that's when I started.
I got into it around 2011 myself. I mean, that's when I started my whole.
Which one was the easiest one to steal online? That was what I got into.
Yeah. The funny thing is that when
I pay for it now.
Me too.
When I've
got 4 licenses, I'm legit now.
Yeah, we pay for everything now.
I have 2 X Particles licenses.
Yeah. So whenever I really realized that C4D is what I wanted to pursue, and I was getting into GSG, I decided to do like a little project just to learn it. And the first one actually was doing Nick's 5-second project thing, which I got an honorable mention in. The first time I ever used C4D, and I was like, okay, awesome, I liked this. Nice, it was easy to use.
Yeah, the 5-second projects were the OG like contest, you know.
Yeah, and that was 11.5, C4D 11.5, I think. But the interesting thing is that back then, well, first of all, it was when my daughter was born, and it was kind of like that 2-week phase where you don't even know what's going on, and you get a few minutes to yourself, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna sit down here and learn Cinema 4D. But
Yeah.
back then there was no real good networking in as far as like my area. Like Facebook was sort of new. There wasn't much in the way of Slack or Discords or any of that. And this is before I met Matt. And my whole deal was like, I want to find people. I heard about these Chicago C4D meetups, and I'm like, man, I really want to do something like that. I really want. And so I started scouring the internet for C4D people that lived in Dallas, and I found like maybe 4. And so I
got no good meetups for the first like 4 or 5 years of my career, because I was in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Yeah.
I was literally the only person other than my buddy David Sawchak, who worked at my company doing C4D.
Oh yeah, David.
Yeah, but I mean, like the first meetups I went to were probably, well, I went to NAB in like 2013, but it was lame because I was with my coworker who just wanted to like drink a lot of beer and, you know, I mean, like, well, there's nothing wrong with that, but he, you know, I wasn't entrenched in the C4D community. I like, you know, met Nick Campbell and like had stars in my eyes and like told him how much, you know, all his tutorials changed my life. And that was about it. Like I stuck around the Maxon booth for a hot second, but because I was with this guy who wanted to like just go bar hopping all over Vegas, I didn't really get any kind of legit NAB experience. And then, yeah, I think it wasn't until like 2015 that I started going to meetups in DC and finally went to that Maxon Roadshow where I met Matthias and EJ for the first time. But yeah, it was.
And I gave you an Otoy shirt.
You gave me your Otoy shirt right off your back, and then your shining, rippling muscles were there, and you know.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
There was somebody in Dallas that I originally talked to way back in those days, and I am not sure if it's Thomas. He's in the chat right now. I don't remember if it was Thomas or not. At the time, there was somebody where I found their website, and it said they were in Dallas, and I was like, oh my gosh, can I just put you on a list in case we ever can get a meetup going? Because I just wanted to find those other nerds. Now cut to 11 years later, and now we have connections with every nerd you can possibly imagine in the in this incredible universe. So
Totally.
it's just amazing how that's happened, and it's so great because, you know, long story short, David, you listened to the show. And you would send us the emails that we were setting off your Amazon dingus, and we would joke about that. And then
somehow it was easier to interact with you guys because you were so informal. And like there were so many moments during the podcast where I was like screaming at my phone when you wouldn't remember the name of something. I'm like, no, you got it totally wrong.
It still happens.
So like, yeah, it still happens. But now you've got the chat for when it's like, what was the name of that thing? And people are just like this, and you're like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we were audio only too.
I really liked it when we were in Vegas, like when we met for the first time in Vegas, and like you came and did the podcast with us in our room, and you knew all the inside jokes and everything. It's like we had known each other for years.
Yeah,
totally.
Drank a lot of scotch,
and it was like kind of sketchy walking at 4 a.m. because the last stop on the monorail, like you guys were at the Stratosphere one.
Yeah,
right?
We were.
Yeah, and so like there was like, you know, a 10-minute walk from the last monorail stop to there, and I don't know, I just felt like I was gonna get shot or something. It was a sketchier, you know, area of Vegas.
Yeah,
right.
That was back when we could only afford the Stratosphere.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
$100 special. Yeah, Thomas said it was Reddit, I think, where we met. And then we ended up meeting each other here because we worked on, I think he worked for the local NBC affiliate, and I was up there for some reason. I don't even remember how it went down. But what was great, though, David, you introduced us because you were speaking for Maxon, and we were like, oh, my gosh, like, that's amazing. We want to meet these people. And you really were like, here, meet this person, meet this person.
Yeah, here's Paul
I was just
Babb.
passing it on because Matthias had introduced me to everyone. Like, it felt like a family immediately. Like, I didn't feel like an outsider at all. Like, you know, so, yeah, Matthias, like, even introduced me to Andrew Kramer that time. And, you know, all my dreams were coming true with meeting all my Mograph heroes.
And that same year, actually, we were trying to do like little interviews, you know, just kind of whatever around the booth and stuff. And we were just chilling at the booth the whole time. And along that lines of people who are so welcoming, Paul Babb comes up to us and he's like, you guys are spending a lot of time here. You know, you only staying at this booth? What's the deal? And he's like, do you "Do you want to join us tonight for
Nice.
a show?"
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
I'll
this
take
is
free tickets to an awesome show.
this is the same night that
My
EJ
favorite-
got David drunk on the sour beers.
My favorite is when
Yeah,
like
I don't remember
have
that
this,
show
I
at
have
all. I
this
was asleep
image
the whole time.
of
Yeah.
Ariew walking in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's just so happy.
EJ got me drunk on sour beers.
EJ got me drunk on sour beers.
I was
That's
also
what I
kind of-
do.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Later, I was stressed out though because I had to like get my whole room key situation sorted,
yeah.
and
Yep.
the key itself had become demagnetized, and I had to make it to the airport on time. And then, of course, I had to wait in that forever long line at the MGM Grand,
Check.
like an hour before my fucking flight was leaving. So
Yeah.
that was not fun, especially while you're drunk. That's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
EJ's connection has become completely potato. Where are you?
Yeah.
I see a basketball court behind you.
EJ lives out in the
EJ's
woods.
about to be murdered.
I know.
I told you I'm walking 300 miles in celebration for your 300th episode. So now,
I was
now I'm on a
walking.
basketball.
So, so interesting story, you know, that same December or whatever, after we had all met up, I told my wife, I said, okay, because
My
there
wife.
was a there was a meetup in Washington D.C. that Ariew was speaking at that same year, right?
Mhm.
And I
Oh,
believe
yeah.
it was
Yeah, yeah.
December, and I told my wife, I said, hey, so this is my birthday or whatever. For a birthday present, I want a ticket to go to Washington, D.C. to hang out with Ariew and to like
Talk
go
to
to this
Matthias.
meetup. Yeah, and
Yeah.
talk to Matthias. Because Dave and I, from the very beginning, we were like, we want to present for Maxon. How cool would that be? Blah, blah, blah,
Mhm.
you know? And so I went there with the goal, the 100% goal of getting us into presenting for Maxon. And sure enough, hung out with
It
Matthias.
worked.
We all hung out. We had a good time. And that very next NAB, you know, we were presenting for Maxon, which was awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
I have a question for y'all. So, classic tutorials. What is your
Okay.
favorite classic tutorial?
That's a
That's a
hard one.
That's a good
I
one.
love the face warp one from Andrew Kramer, the demon face.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
classic.
That is,
remember
You can't
that.
go wrong with that one.
that's a good one. The crumble one from Andrew Kramer is really good as
That's
well.
a good one.
I like that one.
Fly from
Um,
space.
Fly from
Yeah,
space.
you can't go wrong with Fly from Space.
Oh,
and
I-
the orbs one at the time was like, I can make a 3D orb with stuff inside of it, and it was all like,
Yeah.
but it was 2D, weird After
Mhm.
Effects hackery.
EJ,
yeah,
it's
that
so
was a good one.
windy. There you go. There you go.
There we go. So remember,
But C4D
This was
tutorials, I would say like Nick Campbell's Cherry 7-Up.
I was going to
Mhm.
say
One
that too.
that was-
Thomas said that too in the chat.
That was
Yeah.
a good one. Yeah.
That's how I
Very
really
good.
learned Mograph.
Mhm.
Yeah. The Vimeo one for GSG, that was one of the first ones I did that is burned into my brain.
The what?
Was that the
You know,
was that the
that was
projection
tracking a
one?
scene and then putting the Vimeo logo
Yeah,
in it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. What about you, EJ?
remember, like I'm gonna throw it even
Maybe?
back for video.
Nimby?
What?
Maybe?
Go.
Keep going.
Why are you interrupting me? That's so rude.
I think you've just got so much of a lag that like
Yeah.
you don't realize that we're just talking with
Yeah, there's
you.
a delay.
We're not talking over you. We're talking with you. But remember Ayato.web or Ayato at web?
No.
Search for it. It's still up. So Ayato, A-Y-A-T-O.
Just gonna
web.
get my seed phrase hacked? No.
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe these days, you never know. So yeah, there's a password. Just enter in your seed phrase. It'll show you the difference. So,
Hello, I
this
am
is-
customer support. You will input
Hello,
seed
the
phrase.
Sure, I help
No problem.
your MetaMask.
Yeah,
Metamask.net.
just
Net-
enter
Metamask
seed phrase, no
.io.
problem.
NFT mint you. So this thing had like how to do like really good trap code shine and like star glow and like all the stuff because or like trap code stroke like the stroke 3D stroke
3D
effect.
stroke.
Yeah, because like I worked, my very first job was broadcast news, so like all the like shiny glow strokes and
Shiny.
star wipes and light wipes and stuff like that. That was there it is.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And like the panel wipes, like this was like the holy grail of
I never knew about this.
news
broadcast,
motion
yeah.
graphics kind of
Broadcast design.
stuff. Broadcast
Ooh.
graphics, yeah.
Ooh,
So like
it's
that was a
3D.
site where I'm like, and they're like, if you click on, and I hope they have the quick time.
It is so windy where you're at right now.
sorry.
I love
There
that
you
it
go.
says After Effects 5.5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
with the
That's better.
the radio.
Oh, another classic one for me. This was a course. Gareth Edwards' After Effects course was pretty fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And that was for FX PhD back in like 2010, 2011. FX PhD was my jam at the time. I did that for years and spent way too much money on it. And I even got like, I think like a dozen Houdini courses. I was like addicted to buying courses, but then I would never watch them. Like I didn't watch a single one of the Houdini courses. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get to this. I'm going to become the best VFX artist ever and learn Houdini. And this was back in like 2014 or 2015. And yeah, so.
Gareth Edwards was the biggest influence for me
Yeah.
for like VFX and stuff.
Yeah.
Because he, I saw him speak at NAB, you know, for Adobe, and there were like 7 people in the audience. You know, me and a buddy of mine were 2 of them, and like, who knew that he was going to go on to be this powerhouse, you know, which is crazy.
Mhm.
So what are your influences now? Like, where do you think everything is going forward? Like, who are you watching now? Who are you listening to? Are you watching tutorials?
Not enough.
You know,
I'm starting to get back into it. Yeah, it's been too long. Ever since the beginning of LCR, where I had to make a course, I like stopped watching courses and tutorials. But I'm finally getting back into it, starting to learn some new things. Yeah, I look to a lot of different sites. Like, I mean, School of Motion's obviously great. Learn Squared. Sorry. And then Mograph Mentors got some really nice courses, like the Paul McMahon, like stylistic modeling one. Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys have got some really badass courses coming up. But yeah, I'm most excited about getting into Unreal and, you know, what else? I don't know.
Houdini.
Unreal,
Are
probably.
you going to do Houdini?
Houdini. I am. I don't know when I'm going to find the time, as I've always said, but it's definitely something I would love to do. I think my goal right now is just to make enough money that I don't have to take on any jobs for a while.
Yeah.
Like even NFT jobs. Like I'm only doing NFT jobs right now. I'm full time on NFTs. I actually tried to do a job for Zed, and I ended up bailing after a week because the NFT scene was too distracting. I was like, sorry,
Yeah.
Gabe.
Yeah. I was going to say,
I
did you
did-
pass it off to Gabe? And
No, well, Gabe is the one who hired me, and I passed
okay.
it off to Mark Thorson, actually.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, I did like a week's worth of work, and then they fully changed directions. And at that point, I was like, you know what? This is like, yeah, I'm making so much money on investments that this doesn't really make sense right now. And you know, I could be making so much more money on NFTs. It sucks to say that, but Gabe gets it. Like he's made tons of money on NFTs as well. So,
Yeah.
but it's weird. It's like weird that it's like new career. Who dis? You know? And
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
to go back.
yeah.
I don't know why I went on that rant, but
I want to,
was-
when we get to NFTs, I definitely want to talk about that investing stuff too.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh,
Who just
somebody
did
hit a
that?
button and messed everything up. Like literally,
I'm in a.
Was that you, EJ?
EJ,
What did I do?
you hit some sort of like weird mode, together mode. I'm going to go back to grid view so we get you back.
This is
Whoops.
really
There we go.
Sorry.
Mograph Purgatory.
Mograph Purgatory.
That's
So
funny.
wait, did that
Yeah, I
just
told you
change
I'm
it on
allowed
the live stream as well?
It made all of the pictures go away. It's fine now. No, it doesn't show that on the live stream. It just makes
Aw,
it
that's
just
a shame.
loses everybody's
Oh, we're only
input.
seeing this.
Yeah.
I was trying to just. Get
Oh,
everything
I see
back
that
up.
we're now just Skype symbols. That's good.
No, it's back. Everything's fine.
I'm gone. Oh, there I am.
Okay, so in the interest of time, because we only have 55 minutes left till labor,
Labor.
I wanted to first, before we get to the drop, I want to talk about some of the links that David that you sent. You've got quite a few of them here. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But you said you don't have too much to say about them, but I do want
Right.
to bring these up
Yeah,
here.
let's look at them anyway. They're cool.
Yeah.
Let me go back to my
So
chat
let's
so I can
see.
get on the same page with you here.
The first one, it's this Vimeo. I'll make sure I mute
Yeah,
this just
Foundation
in
main
case.
titles.
Yes, Foundation main titles. Tell us
So
about
this is a show based on Isaac Asimov's books, and I've been enjoying it. It's not as good as I hoped. It's a bit cold, but it's beautiful to look at. This main title was done by Imaginary Forces, and it's
Oh,
I mean,
man.
it's not like by any means revolutionary, but the particle work is
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
I'm assuming it's all X particles, and
Or
I love glitter particles like this.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like some different ways to do it. Like I think one of the best ways is just having variation in the brightness.
That's
Just like have
gorgeous.
certain, like just with a gradient, have only a small subset of the particles that are much brighter than others, and that kind of creates a glittery effect.
Or with specular, would increasing specular
Yeah,
on some of them?
specular, exactly. Putting some random color in the specular, but limiting it to only a few particles so that there are just a few that stand out as really glittery.
Yeah.
And then other things you can do, like I've actually made glitter before with X particles by just, creating discs that are spinning. If you get them spinning, then they will, and they're very reflective, then they'll reflect the light at certain angles as they're spinning, so that'll look like glitter as well. But here, I'm not sure that they're doing that. I think they just have some particles that are much brighter than others to look
That's
as if they're
super
catching the light when
Right.
they're not necessarily actually
Right.
catching the light.
That shot where there's the flag waving and then the particles coming off of that was gorgeous.
Yeah, and then the other cool thing is that how they're just like covering all these objects in those same glitter particles too creates a really nice look. So
That
some of them are like
thick glitter
just
is really
emitting
cool.
from the the object, and then other and then they're also covering the objects themselves. So it's just like total glitter particle,
The thick
title
glitter,
sequence.
like just that super dense glitter is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's some big
THICC.
chunks falling off. I see what you're saying. Thick. Yeah, there's probably a lot more to it that I'm not even thinking of here. It's a gorgeous sequence. All right,
else
what do
you
we got next?
Block 170.
Oh yeah, so this is like some. I think my buddy Rob Hales showed this to me. This is some like Bitcoin inspired art, but the cinematography is really gorgeous. The color scheme is amazing. There's tons of volumetrics and like very vast environments. Super impressed by this. I love the little like kind of light up like data matrix, like data going through some of the characters, and lots of great ZBrush sculpts, it looks like. And
Man.
it's really cool. I think I'm guessing there's a lot of the Vitaly Bulgarov mega structures elements in here. Kind of looks like that design language to some extent, but a lot of this is like very unique and custom. I love the like towards the end there's some titles, but they're like just kind of lit up by a single shaft of light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really kind of classy way to do titles.
I think it's getting lost in the compression, but it looks like there's a very cool looking layer of grain on this as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of subtlety here, and lots of like little floaters and volumetrics in every shot. All the thing, just basically ticking all the boxes. Adding all the bells and whistles to really make it feel alive, even when it's just a static environment.
Super pretty.
And then you
That was
got-
I love
really
the animated shadows is a really nice touch too on some of these shots.
good.
And there's this one called Irradiation.
Oh, irradiation.
Or sorry,
This
Irradiation.
one, out of
Oh
all
my goodness.
out of all the links, if you're gonna watch one, watch this shit. It's a 10-minute short film by Sava Zivkovic, and I'll give away the secret. It was all done in Unreal, and it does
Wow.
not look like that.
Oh,
and he did
yes.
the whole thing in 4 weeks. I mean, the bulk of it. There was some like prep, but the bulk of it was created. Like all of his work in Unreal was in 4
Oh my
weeks,
gosh.
and it's like one of the best short films, by a solo artist that I've seen.
Dave, can we get a Rococo suit?
right?
I kind of want to
Well,
just to play with it.
He had a full motion capture stage. That's the one thing. He has access to a legit motion capture stage, so that makes the process so much easier.
Yeah.
But like, what's even better than this video itself? So the short film is amazing. The story is
I
gripping.
believe this is Unreal. This is Unreal.
But even better than this is check out the irradiation process in your free time. That's the next link here. And he breaks down and like explains what a game changer this is
How the
for
British.
digital cinematography, especially. Like he is even more than me, like a legit cinematographer. And nothing but respect for Sava, but he like really makes the strongest case I've seen for switching to Unreal and getting into all this new technology because of how much it frees you up, how quickly you can art direct and change things around. And I think Unreal has a lot of fancy features too for like weather systems and all sorts of other, like, I mean, part of me is like, well, I'll wait till the brigade because then that's basically real-time rendering. But at the same time, Unreal has a lot of other things like scattering nature systems and weather systems and all sorts of stuff that makes certain things a lot easier.
But have you ever tried to set a keyframe?
What's that?
Have you ever tried to set a keyframe in Unreal?
Is it hard?
It's not just bam, there's a keyframe. Like,
right. I'm sure there are a lot of things
fun.
that are really, really annoying. It's completely different software from C4D, but it's something I really want to get into because everybody's going to be using Unreal in the near future.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, you
crazy.
played around with the new S24 stuff, like the placement tools, because that's like.
No, I haven't yet. But
that
is it the scatter pen? Yeah.
Like Winbush was saying, like it's actually really good. Like it's on par with the Unreal version.
Sweet.
Yeah, I would check that out. Placement tool.
Okay.
But yeah, I always wondered, like,
does it actually scatter? So I mean, you can't use that in Octane scatter, but I mean, would it work for Redshift? Like, how Redshift has matrix scatter essentially. Does it work? Is it actual geometry you're scattering, or can you scatter just like?
You can do like render instances and all that stuff.
Because at some point, even with render instances and a cloner, that just starts to bog down so fast. It's you can't go beyond a certain number of instances. If you want really huge, complex scenes, it's not as if you're going to be able to paint in all of those trees manually easily. I mean, you can use vertex map. I guess the best way is probably using vertex maps or something like that, or like polygon selections and whatnot, and all the classic like noise techniques to limit where those instances are. But I think it would be nice to just be able to like in Unreal, you can just go through and paint all that stuff in, even with like millions of instances. So yeah,
it's one of those things where it's like not a cloner, it's like a scatter object. So I don't know if it works any differently from a cloner, but it is pretty cool because you can scatter and then you can go in and edit, so like you can delete individual things and like paint more on.
Right. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I'll definitely check it out and probably start using it. But yeah, check out this whole process video. It's gonna blow your mind, like guaranteed.
And then you got
that's cool.
0110.
Yes. Have you guys covered this before or no? This is
I haven't heard this.
Okay, this is Taehoon Park. He did the Dreveler short film. He works for Elastic. He's one of my top Mograph artists ever. He's incredible. He worked for this I think for like maybe a year on and off, or maybe less. It's kind of like Blade Runner inspired. The cinematography detail is just, it's amazing. I don't know what to say. Just watch
Octane?
it. Yeah, it's Octane.
Yeah,
it's
pretty.
This kind of stuff just makes me want to quit. Like the shot at 109 where
109,
the ripples on the glass that it's passing are like distorting the vehicle. The face shield, all the character looks freaking incredible.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Wow.
And his title treatment at the end is freaking badass because it looks like so go to like 1:59 or 2 minutes. It looks like this pillar box is coming in, and then as it goes, you see that it's not actually just a pillar box. It's the titles coming in, and that's the 0. So it's.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's the O.
Oh.
It almost looks like OIIO, but it's 0110. But it's like that's such nice design.
What's the significance of the type? Is that a binary?
Just binary. Yeah.
Does it-
I don't know exactly.
What is that in
the
binary?
backstory.
No, it's like a Zoidberg face.
Hooray! I'm useful.
I am useful.
I'm useful. That's fine. And then what else?
Some of these like the volumetrics and some of the POV shots on the craft are so amazing. Now I'm actually assuming it's Octane. I don't. Oh no, it's Redshift. I lied. I'm like, man, there's a lot of. He used to use Octane, like he did Dreveler and Octane, but I'm like, man, there's a lot of volumetrics in this that look really clean. So that makes sense that he went for Redshift on that. Yeah.
Now your other links I'll bring up in the NFT segment because they're both NFT related. So
yeah, and there's one at the bottom.
Oh, the other
as
one.
well that's NFT.
Yeah,
it's called the Surreals.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
cool. We'll bring that up too.
EJ's phone's about to die. What's going on?
Your phone about to die?
Yeah. I got 5%, so however long that.
Oh yeah, you should go.
Yeah. Well,
should go.
it's a good transition to the NFT section.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do that.
I got nothing to chill, so.
You got
EJ
what?
has some things to say about NFTs. He did a drop
Oh, you
recently.
got some things to shill?
Yeah, he did.
All right.
I will say that.
Should we go to the drop? Should we just go straight into the...
Just go straight to the drop.
All right.
Say some things about drops, yeah.
All right.
Drop.
Let's go into the drop.
All right, let's do it.
The drop.
Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.
What's up, and welcome to this week's episode of The Drop, your weekly source for all things NFT and crypto art, as well as upcoming drops by notable people in the Mograph industry. I'm Matt Milstead, joined as always by Dave Koss.
Yo.
Also joining us this week are NFT superstars David Ariew and EJ Hassenfratz.
Oh, don't
With
lump
that.
David. That's like, here's a millionaire and a homeless person.
I am
They're on
I
the
am
same
not a
level.
millionaire yet. I would like
Yeah.
to be. I'm
Yeah.
working on it.
Well,
Right.
EJ,
Let's see who gets there first.
before your phone dies,
A homeless
Yeah.
person.
what you got to shill here,
I'm in a
EJ?
car. I live in a car.
I live in
My
a car.
NFT
Please
are
buy
not
my
You guys
NFTs.
still seeing the weird view. I'm still seeing this weird view where we're composited on top of steps.
Oh,
Like,
really?
this is
Just-
still my life
No,
right
just
now.
go up to
You
it
gotta
says
go up to grid
grid
view,
view
at the top.
and change it.
Okay.
Right
Yeah,
now
yeah.
you're on together mode.
Yeah.
Together
whatever
mode.
that is.
Yeah.
wanted to be
Oh, I
together.
see that. What the hell? Okay, that's much better. Thank you.
So EJ's probably on
Make it an NFT.
yeah. But you're on 4%
So-
battery. So what you got for
Yeah,
us?
Okay, so I'm sure it's something everyone's already heard of before, but the Mechaverse looks like the
Oh,
coolest
yeah.
freaking NFT collectible series I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Yep.
Dave mentioned it's actually dropping Wednesday, where they're
It's
doing
dropping on Wednesday. Just like it's so basically what it's going to be a raffle to be able to buy into the project, and I think the limit per wallet is 2. So as that's last I heard. But yeah, there's so much hype around this project that if they didn't do a raffle, it would be the most massive gas war of all time, and there's no way you'd get one unless you're a whale that's spending like thousands and thousands of dollars on gas, if not more. To be able, and even then, it's a risk with gas wars. You can easily get, hurt in that the transactions can fail, but it keeps your gas. So you could spend thousands of dollars and it still won't go through because it would sell out so fast. So it makes sense that they're doing a raffle. There's been a lot of different techniques to mitigate gas wars recently. Some of them are like Dutch auctions, where they start at a price of like, the high price. For instance, Yakuza Cats is one I was trying to get into. And they did a Dutch auction that started at 0.83 ETH and went down to 0.083 ETH. As people buy it, essentially, like the first people to buy it have a guaranteed slot, but it costs way more. And then as it goes down, more and more people start buying in because they want to get those lower prices. So it doesn't necessarily even hit that target of the 0.083.
It seems to me like the like offering it that way, there should be some sort of like high rarity that comes with those higher prices.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I'm
not how
saying?
that works, unfortunately.
See, that kind of
Yeah.
sucks. I would much
And-
rather pay the higher prices for the more
Like,
rare assets or whatever.
Right. And the Mutant Ape Yacht Club did a Dutch auction successfully. I think Gary V's Project V Friends did a Dutch auction. So those were working at first, but with this Yakuza Cats one, it still triggered a massive gas war at the end when everyone's trying to buy in at the lowest price. So there was actually a tipping point where like probably at point 1-2 ETH or something, it was like you could actually buy one for like $500, but then anything lower, it like skyrocketed up to $1,000. It's like the NFT itself only cost 200, but gas was like 800. You know, so that's a huge problem. And there are lots of solutions. Like Pac did an amazing thing with his Lost Poets drop, where he sold 64,000 NFTs, $70 million sale. I think he's doing better than Beeple at this point. But he did this drop, and he used a new, I think it's ERC 1155. Or I don't know the ERCs, but some new type of contract that allows you to bundle items together, so people could mint as many as they wanted, but just for one gas fee. So it looked on the blockchain as if there are way fewer being minted. So there were no gas wars for that. It cost me like $30 to mint 12 of those. So they're different, they're just different techniques moving forward to mitigate that kind of thing. Anyway,
it's okay. I recently, Bone World dropped last week, which is pretty cool. I really
haven't seen that one.
Them.
Is that an Ethereum or what blockchain?
It's Sol.
Oh, it's a Solana NFT.
Solana,
okay.
Yeah. Which,
those are blowing up recently. There's a lot of I wasn't too sure about it because so we bought the Visitors a few weeks ago. We talked about that. Visitors were a pain to try and get, and a lot of these Ethereum ones, because for example, I've got to transfer money from Coinbase over to like a MetaMask wallet, and then that costs gas fees and stuff like that, and then you've got to purchase it, and that costs gas fees, and it was such a pain. But man, when I bought the Bone World stuff, I threw some money into Coinbase, which was cool. Like Coinbase took it immediately. Like it didn't take it out of my account, but it gave me it immediately to be able to trade, which was awesome. So I converted it to Solana for next to nothing, then transferred that over to a Phantom wallet for next to nothing. Yeah. And then was able to purchase something. So it didn't cost me an arm and a leg. Right. That's true for any of the proof of stake networks. Like Solana's a good one, Tezos, Cardano is starting to get NFTs as well. So those three all are proof of stake, and so they're much lower fees. And Polygon is another big one. Polygon actually is an issue right now.
Well, Polygon was what I had to buy the Visitors from, and it was a pain in my ass.
Oh, weird.
To try and get that all converted over. Polygon it literally took like 28 hours for me to transfer something from one thing to another, or something bizarre. Like that. Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, I only have Ethereum NFTs at this point. I still haven't gotten into the Tezos and Hic-et-Nunc stuff, or Solana, or Cardano, or Polygon. Polygon NFTs are constantly airdropped to my wallet. Like when you have more NFTs, you start to get all these rando airdrops, and those are actually all spam NFTs. And never, if you see a Polygon, this is kind of maybe a generalization. Sometimes it's legit, but so many of those are scams. It's a new scam going around where if you try and sell one of those Polygon NFTs, your wallet can actually get hacked. I don't understand how it works, but generally, like if you receive something that you're not aware of, and it's like, the Polygon ones have this little like chain link icon in the bottom left. I just hide all of those in my wallet. That's how I'm dealing with it right now. Oh. You can click them on OpenSea and just hide them.
You can't burn them.
I just airdropped a Polygon one.
Oh,
one drop.
Oh, I saw that. Oh. Okay, well, I'll
unhide
that. I wasn't sure if that was legit, so that's one that I did hide.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, there's spam NFTs and stuff like that, because apparently, you can get hacked from these if you accept them and all that stuff, and it's like,
it's not if you accept them, it's if you try to sell them. If that goes through, if you actually do sell them, there's a way that people can hack in your wallet, and I don't understand how that works. But it's scary because every day there's some new scam. I've been scammed already twice in a small way. Like one time I stupidly bought I was like, it's always when you're moving fast, when you're trying to get into the hype, right? So there was one where I was actually part of this project called Playing Arts, where it's 55, cards, and each one's a different artist.
That one was cool. I saw that one.
Yeah. I gave them an NFT that worked really well as like the 3 of clubs. So one of my mirror boxes is one of those cards. So I was like, I did not expect that one to sell out so fast. It was crazy. But I was trying to, I forget what I was actually talking about. Oh yeah. So I was like trying to buy into the project after the fact because I stupidly it's like I'm part of this project. I had access to the pre-mint, the early release window, and I was like, oh, this isn't gonna sell out. Like this is not gonna go fast. And of course, it sold out in the pre-sale. So I didn't get any from like the initial mint. So I then went on OpenSea and bought some on the secondary market. But one of the ones I stumbled on one and I was like, oh, this one has a really low floor. And of course I wasn't paying attention. It was like the collection wasn't verified yet. So, just be careful when you're doing that stuff because I bought a fake NFT for $150 and it,
was that on OpenSea?
It was on OpenSea. Like any new collection, there's going to be a bunch of scam collections that try and get you to buy into those that are just, and you can tell because, if you look at those collections, it won't be the same number. It won't be like 10,000 NFTs. It'll be just a few. So they're just posing as, that's why the verified tick mark is so important for these projects to get.
Absolutely.
So you don't get scammed.
Yeah.
And even so, there have been times where it's like you can buy a bundle and it appears under the verified collection, but it's still a scam. Sometimes it's hard to tell. So that was a confusing one. Another one that happened to me last week was there's this the RTFKT Studios. It's actually pronounced Artifact.
Okay.
So that one they're like minting some collection that's gonna blow up probably. They're doing really well. And I got like a DM about that minting was live, and I wasn't thinking. I was like, ooh, minting just went live, and I like clicked on it, and I like minted a couple, and I was like, wow, that went through, and it's like said like 2,000 were left, and then I like minted one more, and I'm like, what? I was like, wait, but this number isn't going down. This should be like going down really fast, and then I like started clicking around on the site. I'm like, oh shit, this is rtfkt.to.
Oh my gosh.
So of course, like never anything that's coming into your DM, I get like now I'm getting like probably 50 DMs a day on Discord that are spams.
Why don't you turn that off?
Yeah, you can turn it off.
Turn what off?
Turn off your global DMs.
Yeah.
Like
because people actually DM me sometimes that are legit that I need to talk to, so I can't just.
And you're not friends with them.
Yeah, but you need to be. Do you really? I mean, I wouldn't talk to anyone who isn't friend requesting me.
Right, that makes sense. That's actually a good call.
That's what I do. Like, let people friend request me, and then I can look at them, see the shared Discords, legit. And if I know, like, oh, I don't know about this, I'll just delete it.
Yeah, because you can control that per channel on Discord. So, like, I'll block most of the NFT channels except for like Get Nifty.
The Nifty one, the Beeple collectors one, it's just constant.
Right. No, I'm in like literally like 50 Discord channels.
Oh man.
Or
well,
more.
then it's easier to just block a lot of them and keep like a couple open for.
I don't have notifications. It's literally just the DM. So you're saying like just turn off DMs unless it's your friend.
Because now you're opening yourself up to anyone in any of those Discords that are like super easy to get into to spam you.
Yeah, I guess from like I try to keep my DMs open. Like on Twitter, it's open. I like people being able to contact me because sometimes random students will contact me. But I guess it makes sense. Like if they just friend me first, then they can DM me. So that's a great piece of advice. Anyway, point is, don't be suspect of any DMs coming in. Like since then, that trend has kicked off to a major degree where any big project like Mechas, I get like 10 DMs a day that are scams. About Mechaverse, like minting is live.
165,000 people in that one.
Yeah, but it's like it's always like minting is live, and they go to the trouble of creating fake sites where you can literally just throw your money down a rat hole. Someone said, Thomas Collier said, wasn't that debunked? I don't know if he's talking about the Polygon.
He was talking about Polygon.
Well, that would
be
selling
get
people
hacked
stuff
with an NFT, buying an NFT. Because this is something else that I saw someone that I follow saying like, oh, I just got hacked, and like I was talking with another buddy, and they're just like, okay, is it just me, or am I seeing like a lot of people getting hacked? And then like people are like, okay, but did that person really get hacked? Like their story, they tell their story, and the story doesn't add up. So it's like, okay, do we also need to be paying attention to people who claim they were hacked,
Right.
and then they're just trying to get
Well,
like
Blake,
sympathy?
but it is
vibes of
getting
their
scarier.
NFT?
Every day there are new schemes to hack you. And like Blake
Right.
Catherine got hacked and she didn't do anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Somehow they found her password through her Gmail. I mean, that's the thing. Maybe that's the thing she did wrong, is she had her password as the same, her MetaMask password is the same one as her Gmail. But I'm
Right.
surprised that works, because if you're remote, if you're on some other machine and you install MetaMask, you can't just enter in the password. You literally have to enter in your seed phrase. So anyway, whatever. After that, I went and changed all my passwords,
Yeah.
to make sure that my
She
MetaMask.
stored her seed phrase somewhere in her Google Docs.
Oh,
She
that's
did?
right. That's right. That's what it was. That's
Oh, she
Yeah.
did.
yeah. I heard.
Yeah, I
I
think
heard
that's
about
what
that.
it was.
Oh, okay. Well, that.
Yeah. So don't
that is
store
a
your seed phrase on your
no-no.
Google Docs.
Yeah.
Like
that's a
literally
huge-
just write it down and stick it in a shelf. Like
yeah,
somewhere.
or go to the further length of I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm actually should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we're
Yeah.
doing.
You don't
Even
say what
better,
you're doing.
just say it during
But-
the live stream. Just say
Yeah.
your seed phrase just so you never forget. You can always go
Right,
back
that
to
way
the
I'll never
YouTube
forget it.
video.
But
Yeah.
I was gonna say, get a ledger, get the there's these cold titanium plates where you can stamp engrave your seed phrase into your onto those in case, like, say your house burned down. Obviously, it's not likely to happen, but if it did, your seed phrase would get evaporated in that fire if it's just on a piece of paper.
Yep.
So there are these titanium things to stamp those into in case of fire.
Yeah, you have to trust
put
the
it in
people
a
who are
safety
stamping
deposit
them, that they
box
won't,
or something. What's that?
Oh,
you
the
have to
people who
trust
stamp
people
them.
who stamp them, that they
Oh, that's
can't find your stuff.
right. Well, if you
But yeah,
could-
you could put it in a safe. You could put it in a safety deposit box.
Yes.
There's a lot of things you could do to make
Yeah.
sure.
for sure.
Yeah, he's saying, Kevin Rupp, that's exactly what I've got. He's like, check out Cold TI for seed phrase storage. Cold titanium. So here, I'll show it right here. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
It has my seed phrase right there. No.
EJ, how's your battery? You all right there?
2%.
All right. should we depart before we go into the next section here?
What's the next section?
The next section is Matt tells us what's hot this week.
Yeah,
How long does that go for?
Oh,
I can listen.
depends.
Yeah.
You can listen. Yeah,
Yeah.
hang out.
I'll
We'll give
listen.
it a go.
If I drop out, I drop out. But
Okay.
I love you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
I'll just say I love you
Sarah Gibson
now,
also
and if
said,
I
get a
leave-
firebox.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Firebox is good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so this week's drops. Let's start off with Nifty Gateway. Nifty Gateway's doing. They released some weird schedule. It's like where it's now
Yeah.
starting Friday
Mm-hmm.
and ending Thursday, which kind of sucks. It's like, okay,
Well, I love that recently they've only been doing one artist per
Yep.
day.
absolutely.
But
That's
isn't
cool.
that changing? Aren't they
I don't know.
doing
I don't-
something different having to do with collections? What was in that statement today from
There was a statement. Oh boy. Temporarily putting a pause on the founder town halls going forward as we revise our overall structure and cadence. Still important to our team. To blah blah blah.
No, it's this right here. You may have noticed this week we kicked it up a notch and started adding in multiple of your favorite verified projects a day. This is
This
introduced.
is introduced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick,
I don't know.
can I insert two more small things about
Yeah,
security?
do it.
Totes.
Billy Chicken just said, for what it's worth, I wouldn't trust safety deposit boxes at a bank. If that branch closes down, then it isn't a guarantee that you'll be notified and able to retrieve it. It's common for them to fail to notify everyone. So
Weird.
that's a good piece of
Jeez.
advice. So that's one thing. And then the other scam that I've seen happen, I've seen this twice actually. In your MetaMask, there's an advanced tab and there's a QR code. And if you open up that QR code and you're sharing your screen or someone gets a picture of that QR code, that is your seed phrase. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that. Yes. So be very, very careful of that. So this happened to someone who they were on Discord, they were in the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and they were Discord server, and they were complaining about some issue in OpenSea where something wasn't transferring or wasn't updating the metadata or whatever. And so two people who are the head of the Bored Ape Yacht Club Discord, I can't remember their names.
There you go.
Ariew and EJ.
Gargamel.
Oh wait, he's
Oh,
still
no,
there.
He's back.
Gargamel is one of their names. Anyway, so there were people. It's very easy on Discord to pose as other people. So this person thought they were talking to the leaders of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. They were schmoozing him. They were distracting him, and they were trying to help him work out his problem. and you know, they got him to share his screen and reveal that QR code, and then that's the end of it. You know, they can steal all your shit. So yeah, there's also like this, you know, definite like social manipulation behind some of these scams that are actually very like you know, targeted and detailed. Like Fabian Oberhammer had one where there was someone who actually wanted to fly him out or get him to fly out and meet in person. And someone else actually got scammed by this, where they did meet in person. And they went to the bathroom, and while they were at the bathroom, the people got into their MetaMask and stole all their shit. So this happened in person. You know, and it was like a promise of like, oh, I want to buy all your whole collection of art. Like, I want to buy 50 pieces from you before you get like big in the scene, and all these dailies that you've done in the past. Like, you know, so it's like something that you could kind of believe that a collector wants to invest early in you before you blow up. So yeah, basically just be careful, because it is getting scarier every day as NFTs, because I don't know if you realize since like just a couple months ago, there's maybe 10 times the number of people buying NFTs. It's blown up 10x. If you look at Dune.xyz, for instance, that's a good page for analytics in general. Oftentimes, you know, we're looking at like cryptoart.io for analytics, but that's just the NFT like one-of-one market, whereas collectibles have really, really blown up in the past few months. And there's tons of YouTube channels about them now. So, and celebrities are getting in, you know, buying all the Bored Apes like Logan Paul and all these other people, basketball stars. But yeah, if you look at Dune.xyz, in August, it was like 10 times the number of people entered. We had like maybe 40 or 50,000 people buying on OpenSea. Now we've got about 500,000 people. And still that's a small number. You know, soon 10,000 collectible series are going to feel very small. So it's just nuts. But that means that there's way more scammers, way more people looking to, you know, profit off of you, and you know, anyway.
As the whole industry increases, that's just going to get worse. But what do you got, Matt? What do you got? Take us through it real quick, because Dorpy wants to come in and share something with us. As far as what we've
got today on the 4th is Kid Mograph is doing a drop. And the stuff that he has shown off looks really, really cool. He even did it behind the scenes.
I'm excited for this because I get access to his, let's see, where is it? His Patrol Tunnel one is a drop that's only for people that hold the key to Life Returns. So I won that key Nifty did this secondary Summer Slam event for like 3 days, where the people who purchased the most on Nifty's, there were no new drops. It was literally just purchase on the secondary market. So this was a initiative they did to try and get, you know, to spur that secondary market, which is very needed. So I ended up buying like a couple pot cubes for 10 grand each, and a few more NFTs. So I spent like 25 grand, but I was in the top 150 people, and I won this thing. So this is like a secret, you know, pass for certain Nifty drops, and the floor is already for the actual key is already at like I think 16 or 18,000. So I've already made my money back essentially, because cubes also doubled in that time. But yeah, it's crazy the weird kind of plays you can make to you know, gain access to certain things.
Yeah, I got one of Blake Catherine's keys. I won that in a drawing, and I'm curious what she's gonna do with that. So I've got that one listed pretty high. It's like I've got it listed at like 9 grand. But I won that one for like $300. I was really happy about that one.
What else you got?
Okay, so that Kid Mograph. Then tomorrow, Vils, I believe. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or whatever. This one is crazy. So like,
where are you seeing
rewind it, Dave?
Where are you seeing it ahead of time?
I go to their Twitter. And then I just look to see what they're doing. So this is it? I don't know if this is an actual explosion or whether this is a simulation or whatever. But like, if you fast forward it, you see it basically creates this cool thing. It's neat.
Maybe it's not. It looks very real.
At the
I think that might be. I think that's footage. I think that's footage of a building.
The beginning of it,
but
looked
it's just
a little...
it's been time remapped.
Is that? That's really hard. That
Maybe you're
looks
right. Maybe
pretty-
it's not.
Yeah.
I don't
Pretty
know,
CG.
but it is
Combo,
like
maybe?
so crazy. Yeah, it could be combo, whatever.
Combo.
I just think that smoke at the end looks really real, but
Yeah.
again, maybe I'm
Yeah.
being tricked. Like,
I don't know.
It's funny how
I have no
we
idea.
CG artists often
So
can't
go
tell
up,
what's real.
Right.
scroll up a little bit, Dave. See what the tags and stuff say.
Art, street art, explosion, NFT,
Street art.
blockchain, burns.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know.
Street art. Oh.
Yeah, I think it might be real.
So it's something where the explosion creates the
Yeah.
the art on
See,
the
but
building?
I don't know. I don't know. Could be fake. It's cool though.
How would you
I
do that
really
in real
like
life?
it. I thought that was rad. You know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting.
So
What else you got?
that is tomorrow. Then on the 6th, Stephen Balte. I don't know if that's how you say their name, but
Ooh.
Real Imposter. Like, I freaking
Weird.
love
Look at that.
Oh, that's a weird one.
this stuff. Like so good. Like
Yeah.
I've been following them for a while, and like I just absolutely love their work.
Want to know who one of my favorite NFT artists is right now?
Huh.
Oxygeno. Do you know Oxygeno?
I don't know
I'm
Oxygeno.
gonna look that up.
Oh yeah, I've been following him for years and years and years on Instagram before he was into NFTs. But so it's 2 E's, OXEEGENO. Go look at his super rare because every one of his pieces lately has been just so high quality, insane, really really amazing, creative, beautiful
Here's
stuff.
the chat. Or I put it in the chat, Dave, if you want to show that.
Oh, I got the super. Is this super rare?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the
Yeah.
super rare.
Like check out Mirror of Thoughts. It's this underwater one, and then his most recent one where this character's like
Yeah.
skateboarding in this futuristic cyberpunk scene being chased by police. That's so rad. Like everything, like the one where it's called I Dream That I Was Free is one of the best loops I've seen, with like tons of marvelous designer stuff, and like he does this thing with waterfalls. I'm assuming he's mapping video onto it, but he might have told me that it's actually fluid sims. But they just look so detailed and crazy. Yeah, click on view more. If you scroll down, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, view all
View all
art. Okay, I
artworks.
was looking
Yeah,
for like
yeah.
a. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, and then scroll down to like keep going. There you go on the left. I Dreamed That I Was Free. Check that one out. That's one of my
that's
favorites.
Cool. That's
Yeah,
really
but click
cool.
on it
Can
so
I
you see the whole
it
thing.
bigger. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Oh, nice.
And then yeah, like check out the waterfall that's coming up here.
Wow. Gosh, that's cool.
Yeah, I need to get into Marvelous Designer. But yeah, check this out. Like, oh my god, I think it looks like it's video mapping, like projection mapping onto geometry, but might be actual fluid sims.
Oh,
but yeah,
you've
isn't
got
that
some
cool.
lens
That's
good loop.
focal
That's a
length
super good loop.
change.
such a good
Yeah.
loop? Yep.
That focal length change at the end is like,
Pulling out all the stops.
yeah. I want to watch it
I'm
again
so
now.
impressed.
I want to see the ending again. Right here. Watch. Get that crazy. Whoa, focal length.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Anyway, random,
cool.
but
What else, Matt? How much time we got? I got 20
and
minutes
then,
till labor.
Oh,
my
20
God.
minutes. Okay, real quick. And then this isn't on the list, but I saw
Oh.
that Ryan Talbot's actually doing a drop
Oh.
he is, yeah.
on the
On what?
7th. So we'll probably, the thing is, like, with their new schedule and stuff like that, we won't be able to announce the ones that happen on Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. So
Oh.
I'm really glad we were able to see this one. Let me, I put the link in Notion, but I think you're working off of another Notion.
Well,
Here,
I
let me
can
put
get,
it in the
I
chat.
can get a Notion. That's
There
fine.
you go. I got
Oh,
it.
You got it. Okay.
So working with King of Midtown, I believe.
Yep.
A collab with King of Midtown.
And
which
several
is
other
cool.
artists, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's
Yeah,
sending
I
me a
love
print
that.
of Stargazing, and I'm really excited about it.
Ryan's
Yeah.
oh, that's awesome. Ryan's
Yeah.
been doing such an amazing job of
yeah.
creating these robotic creatures, like really bringing them to life. Like he's
Mhm.
obviously gotten into Substance Painter
Yeah.
and rigging. This is like, yeah, to me, it's like my Down on the Render farm on crack. Like honestly,
Yeah.
like if I have more time, this is the kind of art that I would be making because I love me some robots.
Yeah. It's super cool. Really good stuff.
Cool.
So excited for Ryan. Ryan's been killing it in this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
he
great
just sold
for
a
him.
piece for $100,000, so
Yeah.
I would say so.
Did you
Yeah.
see his tweet about buying a Lamborghini?
Yes, yeah,
You know, I
He
thought that
like,
was funny.
reinvest in
'Cause-
yourself. Don't buy a Lambo.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he just his Acura finally like bit the dust.
Yeah,
and so he went and
yeah.
bought like a
Everyone's
CRV.
like, bro, why
You know,
did
it's
you
like,
get
why
a-"
didn't you buy a Lambo?
Exactly. It's
Why
like
didn't
because
you
I
buy
bought a
Lambo?
good car that'll get me around, and
Right.
now I'm not spending like way tons of extra money on something I don't need.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
drive like
smart.
once a week. I don't really.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
yeah.
Cool. So that's it for Nifty Gateway. I wish I had the rest of them that were gonna show up during the weekend, but I don't. So,
You guys
which
need
is
to
a
get
shame.
into buying some collectibles. That's where the real
I
money
have
is at.
some collectibles.
Okay.
I
Cool.
have. Yeah, I mean, I've got the Visitors. I just did Bone World and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
There's
I-
one
I-
releasing today that I'm really excited about.
What's that one?
I put the link in the chat. It's called the Surreals.
Oh, okay.
There's no like big roadmap or anything like that. It's literally like this is very high quality art, and we wanted to
Oh,
make some
cool.
like hand painted beautiful art as a collectible. And so to me, like you should be looking as a collector, you know, investing in these things. You should be looking for unique things that haven't been done before. Like
Right.
So this to me is one of those. I don't know if it's going to blow up. You know, this is not financial advice, as everyone always
Sure.
says. Yeah, you can't really you can't see what they
Oh,
look
you
like
can't
there
see 'em.
yet. But
Oh, okay.
if you go to the site, I think if you go back to the Surreals Twitter and then navigate to the site,
We
let's
have
see.
an extra 30 minutes now, by the way, so we're good.
Oh, cool.
Oh, sweet.
So
Yeah,
it's
go to surreals.io.
surreals.io. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see.
and let's see.
Have you seen?
There you go. You
the-
scroll down, you can see what some of them are going to look like. But they've got these crazy painterly backgrounds, and there's like a bit of process
That's
for.
cool.
Here
I
we
like
go.
that. I
Here we
like
go.
that. Okay.
Yeah, scroll all the way down there.
Here we
Keep
go.
Have you
going.
seen
Ooh.
Very good.
these Yeti ones?
Super Yeti.
Is that what it is? No, sorry, not the Yeti. It's these the llama ones.
Llama?
I don't know if I've seen the
Let me
llamas.
see if I can find them. Like I'm totally loving what they look like. Let me see if I can find them. Someone was posting them in the crypto art channel on the boop-a-doop-doo. Sorry.
Out of
Well,
any of the projects that I've bought into, the one that has, or the one artist that has paid the most dividends and has been the best to invest in by far is Pac, and he's still
Yeah.
flying under the radar because we all know who he is
yeah.
in the one of one art space, but people who are just entering the collectibles space often don't know who he is. And he just released like a couple weeks ago this project that's going to run for a whole year called Lost Poets, and it's all these AI faces, and you feed them pages, so you can swap your pages for poets, or you can keep your pages and feed them to your poets in phase 2, and then they start speaking poetry. It's
All
really
right.
unique, and he's going to airdrop there are these origin tokens, origin poets that are black and white that were used to generate all the kind of like faces along with other AI algorithms and whatnot. But if you have those, you can actually rename your poets, and that'll ripple down and affect that entire collection of that family of poets. There's all these crazy dynamics. There's mystery. There's going to be like a twist thrown in that will change the value structure of the whole project. So he's keeping people engaged over a whole year. At the end of the year, you can burn your poets for Ash, which is another thing. Like Ash is like such a great investment, or at least it has been for me. You know, and I only can see it continuing to rise. But yeah, Pac is like the space's Banksy. He's mysterious. He's really good at communicating. He's somehow a master of so many different disciplines. I don't know if you can tell, but I've become like a really big fan of Pac lately.
Mhm.
It's you know, Cinema 4D and Octane is just one small fraction of what he does. He, you know, understands blockchain better than anyone. He's up to date on all the smart contracts, the newest ways to implement drops. He understands game theory and social dynamics. He's like the game master. He's a performance artist as well. Like if you're on his Discord, there was one night where he was responding to everyone in previous tweets that he'd done, just like literally like answering people with previous tweets, because he has some kind of weird algorithm that'll immediately search through all the tweets he has.
That's funny.
done in the past. And like, so, you know, he would just, and they were answers that would make sense, you know? So he's like constantly like messing with people, but in a good way. Just the other day, he did this drop called, or this was like literally, I think it was yesterday actually. He did a drop called Fomoverse, right? He was like he changed his, you know, Twitter thing to, you know, like something like, I can't remember what it is, but Citizen of the Fomoverse or something like that. And you know, if you go to fomoverse.gg, this is my other link. It's really funny. I actually managed to win one of these. It was a free NFT he dropped, and now it's already worth like, I think the floor is like 7.5 ETH. Though interestingly, with this one, it's a 50% royalty. So it's like, like it's, you know, people were coining it the unflippable, because if you remember, he did like that drop that was like called the title.
I link my MetaMask.
You need some Ash in your wallet in order to participate. But I think there's several more coming, because that was just the F, and now there's going to be OMO. But it's like this whole play on like, it has no utility, there's no roadmap, it's all FOMO, you missed it already, it happened yesterday, you know. So he's just like,
let's not do the MetaMask thing.
There's like weird like social commentary and like comedy constantly from this. And I don't know, I'm into it. It's
Fomoverse.gg. Where's GG from? Is that good game?
Good game.
Okay.
Yeah.
It really is?
Yeah, GG.
All right.
Yeah, it's
All right.
really
Okay,
GG.
cool.
He's like just messing with people. You
I
know?
just think of Rev when I hear that, because he says GG all the
yeah,
time.
GG. Yeah. Yeah, and also Francisco pointed out that Pac created Arcolect, which is, you know, this AI curator on Twitter that's got several million followers. You know, Elon Musk loves it and whatnot, and it just curates visuals that it thinks will go viral, and it does a really good job of that. So he built that many years ago. He's got another one called Meta Prophet that just says weird things from movies or from different, you know, things, and it actually got banned on Twitter for like 24 hours the other day for saying like something from a movie that was like, I'm gonna kill you or something.
Oh gosh.
like, he's like, oh no, Meta Prophet, what have you done? Yeah, so I don't know, like, yeah, I think he's moving into this new phase of his NFT career where he's more focused on, rather than building art in C4D and Octane, he's building things that make things. So he's building AI, like all of his new drops are going to be a little bit more AI focused. But there's always mystery with his stuff. Like this Fomoverse one, it says that the token could change at any time. You know, and people that are buying it, the interesting thing is that because it's 50% royalty, they're buying it expecting that it'll 2x, because unless it 2x's, you're not going to make your money back, because it's 50% royalty. So, you know, he's just playing with all these different dynamics constantly and innovating, really.
I feel like,
so
I mean, yeah, it's a full-time job to keep up with all this stuff.
It
because
is.
There's so many things going out
and that's
now.
what I've been like tripping out on lately is like, holy shit, I've been like, you know, I wasted this, well, not wasted, but it's like my job now I have to, you know, just kind of like come to terms with is like, part of it is like researching, investing, like watching ETH. Like I've been constantly every morning watching YouTube videos about like, you know, just about like how the market works, you know, and like what the market.
That's your new tutorials, buddy.
That's my new tutorials.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm wanting to get back into art, like to a major degree, and I am doing like art projects. You know, I'm doing a lot of collabs at the moment, and there's a lot of exciting stuff on the horizon. But yeah, it's weird because I feel like very inefficient, because half the time I'm just watching charts and graphs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I get that.
Like,
I get that.
you know, it's a lot of it feels like gambling, and it's scary.
Yeah.
It is.
Too.
Yeah.
It is gambling.
It is gambling.
But
You know.
I mean, it is and it isn't. If you're making decisions based on
Good information.
You know, good information and rather than just like coin tosses, you know, like, oh, I think I'm sure that ETH is gonna keep going up, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just in some ways I'm trying to play it safe. In other ways I'm taking risks. And then the other frustrating thing is like you look back and you're like, if only I'd made this decision, you know, because like if only like I made some, even when you make good calls, like so I invested 12 grand into Ash essentially, which is Pac's you know cryptocurrency, and that blew up into 240 grand before it dropped down to 120. So like at that 240 moment, I was like, I should have sold it and then I should have dumped all of that into. You can see like what the big plays would have been in retrospect. Like if I'd sold that and dumped all of it into Pac's newest Lost Poets project, I would have been on the leaderboard. I would have had these 2 origin tokens, which are now worth 100 grand, 50 to 100 grand each. So like it's not hard to see in retrospect how you could have made a killing. Like if you just, if only we'd minted like a bunch of Bored Apes, now we'd be millionaires.
And that's the thing when y'all kept on telling me, oh, hodl, diamond hands on the people thing. I understand. And you're in for the long haul, which is totally fine.
No, I totally get what you're saying. There are peaks. There are peaks in the market where Beeple hit that peak and you sold at the exact right time.
It was literally like the best time.
Yeah, you sold for at the very top, and that's really hard to do. And there have been times where I'm like hodling forever. Like this Ferocious piece that I had, it was it's that astronaut headbanging one, right? It was a set of 300. I bought it for 1,500. I hodled it. That was March, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit, the surreals is happening in 5 minutes. I'm gonna like mint some of these while we're talking. But that one I hodled for since March. It went up to 5 grand. It went down to 800, and then I sold it like a month ago for like $1,000 more than I bought it for, because it just seemed like it was gonna do nothing. Literally 1 week later, it blew up to being worth 40 grand.
God.
Oh, that hurts.
That hurts. And there's a lot of those that are like that. It's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have sold my Robotos. Oh shit, I shouldn't have sold this or that. But then there are other times where you're like, oh shit, I should have sold at this time,
Yeah.
Right.
And it's also impossible to know what's going to make a comeback. A lot of these projects go away for what feels like months, and then all of a sudden blow up out of nowhere,
Yeah, I was really surprised. Like I held on to I just on a whim bought one of the Zed fuck render pieces, one of those collabs, and like it immediately went from $1,250 to like $700, and I was like, ah man, I don't think I'm gonna make my money back on this one, And then he released fuck crystals, and it's like, those sold like they were so gone. Like I could have listed it for 5 times the amount I was selling it for, and
a lot
whatever,
of the time,
you never know.
It's like to not list things. I'm finding. Because you never know when something's going to take a crazy run. Like I bought into this project called Axolotls, which was not super high profile. I just thought it was cute, and it went down massively for a week. Like I bought them at like 0.2 ETH and it went down to 0.02. So it like went down 10 times lower. And then after like another week, out of nowhere, I just like I get an email from OpenSea. It's like your item sold, and then it's like your item sold. I'm like, what's happening? And then I had sold 3 Axolotls by mistake, not by mistake, but ones that it was a decent price. I like made my money back, but from there it ran up another 10x. So thankfully I still got like 2 or 3 of them, and now I'm like, okay, maybe this is a blue chip. So that for those that don't know, there's this new terminology called blue chip NFT, aka Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, Cool Cats. Any of these projects that have proven themselves in the long term are called blue chip NFTs. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is actually a blue chip one. I'm going to hang on to this for longer and list them. If I list them, I'll list them for much more than I would ever expect to make on them. And if I do, awesome. That's a good time to cash out. But yeah, it's really hard. And like,
what's your biggest loser one, like that you spent money on and is just not it's
Degens is one. Another one, Super Yeti didn't do shit, but I didn't lose very much on that. And then another one is Vox Collectibles, but that might make a comeback. But that one was a bit of a shit show. I invested like 6 grand and that all went down. And yeah, I don't know. I like the biggest, like I've lost money on ETH to some. I think I'm like break even on ETH. Like at one point I made a lot, and it's like then you lose a lot. It's like, oh, I shouldn't have swapped all my Ash, a lot of my Ash to ETH. I should have left it in Ash. There's all these things that you say to yourself. Yeah.
Matt, you got 2 more on the board, by the way.
Yeah, I bought an Adam Priester. Like, do you know Adam Priester?
Yeah, I love his work.
I love his work. Right. I bought one of his Nifty pieces. Yeah, I bought one of the ones from Nifty.
They're only surprisingly doing so poorly.
They are. I don't know why.
I don't get it.
It's like there's like it's only an edition of 64, you know, and like I bought it for I paid $12.50 for it, and its last sale was $3.50.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy
Total.
because
Here's
this
another
is
one.
a good piece.
I invested like 20,000 into super rare, but I invested that when it was at $3. And that was like at the peak of the hype. Like if things are already hyped, don't buy in.
Yeah.
You know, I was hearing about super rare token, how crazy it's going. I could see it going up. So I invested, 20 grand, and that went down to like 8 or so. It cut into a third of its value. So but that now it's going back up, and people like for that one, people think it's a good investment because the token dynamics are really interesting, where they're holding 850 million tokens from the public. They're not letting, so the only people holding are artists or some people that bought in early, but there's not much supply because they're holding all those tokens until at least November.
Gotcha.
So the token economics on that one are really good. It's definitely like a powder keg waiting to explode to some degree. And also because the people that were airdropped those tokens are artists who are oftentimes holders because it's an investment in your in super rare itself. It lets you vote on aspects of super rare.
Oh.
Yeah.
And because it's almost like they gave this to me, so if you're gifted something, you're much more likely to hodl, which is what happened with me in the Bored Ape. Like Tim gifted me one immediately after they came out. He was super nice, and I would have sold that way earlier because I never expected it to blow up to what it's done.
Yeah. That's crazy. All right, jumping back to the drops for this week, we got 2 over in Maker's Place. The first one is tomorrow. Katie Arrington, super cool artist, illustrator and stuff, doing a lot of work in Photoshop, and but really, really pretty stuff right there. And then the 7th, we've got Grand Chamaco, I believe it is. I really like these ones. These ones are super cool. That's like famous scenes from movies and stuff like that, done with like a very stylized these characters and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It
Like
looks, that
Free
looks like
Kahlo,
something.
that's
What does
cool.
that look like?
Dolly.
Almost has
It
like
reminds
it's
me
almost like
a
a 3D
lot of-
Cuphead.
Yeah.
Look at the
Yeah,
eyes.
It reminds me a lot of what's his name? Dang it, I can't remember his name.
Oh.
I think you know who I'm
gosh.
talking about.
Who does the cans?
C4D artist.
Who does the
what?
cans? Who does the cans? Or no?
No.
Think of someone else?
No. Different
Oh, I don't know.
artist.
EJ
I don't know.
Hassenfrost. I don't
Anyway.
know.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, it's EJ.
Anyway.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it as far as the drops for this week. We had 2 listener drops. First one, we want to bring up Rev. Rev had a couple of drops this week on Foundation.
Some of them are still available.
Yes.
And so this was kind of a funny story because Beeple actually bid on one
People
of his.
bid on one of his pieces.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he wasn't paying attention, and Isaac came and
Isaac
like,
jumped
took it out
in.
from under him.
Yeah.
I was telling both of those dudes, we were on Halo, I was like, why are you doing this? If your piece ends up like Rev, if your piece ends up in Beeple's collection, that is a massive win for you. Like
Right.
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's less, money. Like Isaac jumped
Right.
in, I guess, because he wanted to like mess with Beeple and say that he stole it from Beeple or something when he wasn't paying attention. But yeah, I mean, the fact that Beeple bid on Rev's piece is like so huge. That's shows such support, and he doesn't do that with anybody. He like the only other thing I've seen him bidding on is like the Urs Fisher pieces.
Yeah, there it is, right there. Yeah. Outbid him by 0.1
Very
ETH.
nice. That's really funny.
Yeah, that's great.
That's
Yeah.
super
So
fun.
the other ones are still available if you want to check those out. What's
Yep.
the other one you're talking about, Matt? Did you send it? To
The
me?
other one is from here. I don't know if you have this link in there, but this one was posted in the Slack. Silo.
Silo.
TV Silo.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
just,
I
did
saw
a new
this.
piece on Super Rare. Really, really cool looking stuff. Really pretty. Man, that subsurface. Sexy.
Yeah, and
But yeah.
Ad9 TV says Foundation is trash. I was asking Rev like why he's putting that stuff on Foundation at this. Like he probably do better
I don't know.
somewhere else.
Some of us can't get invites to Maker's Place or to Super Rare.
Well, you got to make some stuff first, Matt. I think that's probably a good.
I have made plenty of things.
Oh yeah, but you already released them. You got to make some new stuff.
Yeah,
You got to make
I
some
know.
new stuff. Is that all of those? I don't know.
I think that is it. Yeah, that's all we got.
Okay.
So-
Cool.
Ari, have you doing any drops?
Yeah, I've got, well, so I was going to do a nifty drop for NFT NYC where I was making this mirror box piece, and then it was going to be partnered with Artec House, which is this, they do like these 20K projectors in this room to like immerse you in
Cool.
the content. So I rendered like 2/3 of that already at like 4K resolution, upres to 8K with the AI gigapixel, whatever it's called,
Right.
video enhanced.
Yeah.
And then about a few days ago, they emailed me to tell me the project's not happening anymore. They're
that
going in
sucks.
different directions. So that sucks, but they still want to have a call with me in a couple weeks to talk
Just
about
take that
how.
piece and sell it. Just sell it on Super Rare.
Yeah. Well, I was going to actually. Originally, it was going to be my Super Rare Genesis, but the problem with Super Rare is that they have a file size limitation of 50 megabytes. And with these
That
mirror
sucks.
boxes that are long form, like this was a
Yeah.
2-minute piece, it looks like total trash on Super
Yeah.
Rare.
Compression.
So I decided not. I have access to Super Rare. I'll mint something there at some point that's different, not a mirror box, you know.
Yeah.
But for the mirror box stuff, it just is not going to work as my Super Rare Genesis.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what to do with that piece. I also made a similar one for Loopify that will go into his short film that he's building with a bunch of people. So that was kind of like a commission. I recently worked with Beeple on a project I'm not going to talk about.
Yeah, I know.
That may or may not see the light of day because of the celebrity we're working with. You know, celebrities are pretty flaky. Like we both knew that going in. So that was a pretty hilarious project.
Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story about that he mentioned at camp because I asked him about it. You
I
know,
would love to hear that afterwards. And then I'm working with Triple X, who's one of my biggest collectors. He's in China. And his family represents this artist named Jia Ai Li, who is one of the top painters in China. He's got this weird like partly abstract, like kind of dark art style with like characters with gas masks, these kind of recurring characters. And so I'm basically taking his paintings and converting them into 3D scenes. And this project is going to be me, Raf Grissetti, Ryan Hawthorne, and potentially Min Shi. No, Min Shi is doing another thing with him, but Frenetic Void, potentially Coldy.
Frenetic Void.
Yeah, his stuff's crazy. So yeah, that should be. It's really exciting. Potentially going to drop on Christie's. We'll see. His, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah, Triple X's aunt is I think the vice president on the board at Christie's.
Oh, cool.
So that's really cool. And they've also
Yeah.
got another platform called TR Lab that has already done a very successful NFT sale with another Chinese artist who's this fireworks artist, and it sold for like 2.5 million. So some of the drops are going to be on TR Lab. Some are potentially going to be on Christie's. So that's probably going to be like January, February. I'm going to be working on this for like a month or two. I've got a nifty drop lined up for December, and then potentially Maker's Place drop in January is what they wanted, but I might push that. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff going on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's
Oh
awesome.
boy, look who's here.
Oh,
here's
look who
Dorpy.
it is.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up, Dorpy? It's
Yeah,
good.
I just had to stop by and wish you a happy show 300. Looks like it's going
Yeah.
well. So I'm working with a new friend that I just met on the internet. He sent me an unsolicited message on Discord, and so I'm hanging on every word he says now. Also, he wanted to talk to you guys in a minute, so I'm just gonna roll over and turn it over to him. But before I go, I thought you would just enjoy watching a best of reel that I brought along with me, my greatest hits. So I'm gonna show it to you, or Dave's
right.
gonna show it to you. Okay, bye. Oh,
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
I gotta pull this up, huh? All right. Well, we'll watch this while you go to the bathroom. Here we go. He's Dorpy the Doge dog. Doing NFTs has really given me a new leash on life. Check out my new Genesis drop on Rarible. Hi, EJ. I left a drop for you in the backyard this morning. I sharded it, if you know what I mean.
What is happening right now?
I tried to go to the doctor, but I refused care. He tried to give me a CAT scan. I just want to go chill in the sand with my growler. I didn't know you were into craft beer. Craft beer? You said a growler. No. Growler is a hookup app for dogs. I was also a little horse, but then I remembered I'm just a little dog. I'm really enjoying Star Trek. I, too, like to go where no one has gone before.
What?
Like, I'm talking about the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
The bathroom.
That
I
was an
poop
okay joke.
in places. Yeah. I'm not an economist, though. I just have my master's in archaeology. I've been told getting up in collectors' DMs is kind of cringy, but I don't really mind. It's hard for me not to brown nose. As a dog, Matt, I sniff a lot of butts.
Oh.
Yeah. Trying to make some music. It's going to go along with my album. It's called No Doggity.
Oh my god.
There's a little event down the road. It's called Burning Dog.
Sounds so weird, burning.
Burning Dog. And I'll spare you the hot dog jokes. I also managed to capture some scraps and some grease from under the barbecue grill, so it's been a good day.
Can you make NFTs without opposable thumbs?
No. Well, I'll be a son of a Dorpy. But I'm allowed to say it if it's true, right?
Who's your favorite basketball player? Is it Charles Barkley?
Yeah. Did you see all the squirrels running around there too?
I did, yes.
Yeah, it was great. They were delicious.
Everything's possible.
Yeah.
Stupid poses.
This is exactly what the mainstream media wants you to think.
Are you sure you don't do crack?
You weren't doing any other things, were ya?
Not as far as you know, narc. Yeah, the 80s called. They want their narc back. Your site said you had to be over 18 to enter. So
That's not true at
I
all.
only meet that requirement in dog years only. You're on Crypto Biotica? Biotica? I did not get that website right. I gotta go erase my internet history. Bye. Cops were always kind of tailing me. Yeah, either that or the fact that I was littering.
That one was so bad, dude.
Okay, bye. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get to the dentist. One of my canines is loose.
Oh, I knew it.
Okay, bye. My Harry Potter canine fan fiction. It's gonna be called Labracadabra.
No.
Okay, bye. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
There it is.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Anyway.
Wow.
Oh,
That was
look,
an amazing supercut.
look who it is.
Oh, boy.
What's going on? Bro.
What is this one's name?
Guys, bro.
Bro.
Okay.
I'm NFT Shark. Oh, I get it.
Okay.
So like NFT Shark, I get it. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Bro.
Oh,
Bro. I'm NFT Shark. Everyone's just getting so excited about where everything's going in this space. I know we've never met before, but I'm gonna give you all the information, everything you need to know about NFTs. I'm just gonna give away all the knowledge in this
my
space, because I'm really excited about this space, bro. So if you really want to make big money in this space, all you got to do is buy into Kevorkian coins.
Kevorkian.
What is a Kevorkian coin, bro? Kevorkian coins.
Oh my god.
It's a coin where sometimes they just like kill off a coin at random and you might lose some of your money. Bro.
Okay.
But if you could help us socialize this and get it out and spread the word in this space, I'm really excited about it all in this space. I guarantee you're going to get super rich in this space. But anyway, bro,
There's no puns.
I gotta
can't-
hasta la
I
bye
can't get
bye.
behind this. There's no
I'm gonna
puns.
hasta la bye bye
Come on,
now.
dude.
No, I just need you to spread the word about my new coin, bro.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna hasta la bye bye. I'll catch you later on.
All right.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
All right. No shark puns. I was expecting.
No,
some
I'm not
shark
gonna do.
puns.
I can't
some
handle
fish
that many
puns.
I can't handle that many puns. I don't think
All
I
right.
could
That
write
was
that
amazing.
many puns. No,
Sorry, I was a bit distracted because I missed the window for the surreals.
Oh no.
No way! How?
Well, yeah, because there was like a reservation phase. Like you had to, the way they're trying to prevent gas wars is that they're immediately at the time there was the reservation. So like you can reserve up to 4. But now it's, I missed it and now it's saying reservation failed
That's
for however.
stupid.
Yeah, I'll just buy some on secondary, but they're already like $1,000 each.
Wow.
Of course. It's the story of NFTs.
Yeah.
Is secondary, is that on OpenSea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're already at 0.3. Though that could easily drop, like, oftentimes the floor drops post-reveal, or, post, like, immediately after the mint, it could drop as well. So we'll see how that does. But, yeah. Either way, I'll probably buy 1 or 2 because it seems like a nice project.
Wait,
Have they been minted yet?
There was a pre-sale. There's about 2,500 out there, and there will be, 10,000.
Wait, there was an error, David. You're good.
What's
An
that?
error? I'm just looking at the chat.
There's an error.
There was an error.
I can still
David, you're good.
reserve
Can
some.
you still do it? Huh.
Let's see. It says my wallet is not listed. Pre-sale is live. Okay. Maybe the
Do
public.
I have to do
makes
this? Oh, but I have to be on the Discord, don't I?
Not necessarily. No. You just mint directly from the site.
See, I'm so I don't get it. I don't understand any of it. I need NFT Shark to help me understand how all of this works.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Other people.
Oh, Francisco. I love how everyone's like into NFTs in our scene now.
Yeah.
Francisco goes, I tried it right at the timer hitting 0 and got the same message. All right, so
okay.
whatever.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's got to be really hard
Your
to.
wallet is not whitelisted. What is that?
Yeah, that's what mine's showing now too. Okay. Oh, reserve phase is delayed by 30 minutes. Oh, that's good. Okay.
Oh,
I'm
perfect.
gonna get
timing.
Chelsea in here so that we can reserve some.
Well, we should get out of here then.
All
So
right.
you can. Yeah. You want to wrap the drop, Matt?
Yeah, let's wrap this
Gotta
up.
go
Hold
take
on,
it down.
Ariew, don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Don't leave
Wait,
yet.
what are you doing?
All right,
You
whatever.
You can wrap.
All right.
You can
so,
wrap all these.
yeah, that was episode. If you've got any drops that you're doing, feel free to send them our way. info@mograph.com, and we'll shill them on the show. Yeah.
All right, let's get out of the drop.
Let's get out of here.
Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.
Billy, I'll get your question once he comes back.
Here we are back in episode 300. What's up? And David's not here for us to say goodbye to him.
Ariew, Billy's question as soon as he gets
About
back.
the compression thing?
Yeah.
No, we're still on.
Because
Ariew,
doing this
Ariew,
shit while we're.
Ariew,
Oh, he doesn't have his
Ariew.
headphones on. That's why.
Real quick. Okay, one last thing before we go. Billy had a question. He said
Oh,
a
yeah.
question for David about minting on Super Rare versus Maker's Place because of the file size earlier. What did he say? He said
Between Super Rare and Maker's Place.
he's got a 40-second animation he wants to mint, but it's too hard to compress down in file size. I think Maker's Place is my best option. Thoughts
Yeah.
on Maker's Place versus Super Rare for it as a 1 of 1 because of the file size?
I mean, yeah, you don't want to hurt the integrity of your art, so that's why. I mean, that's why I've loved Maker's Place. It's just that Maker's Place in general, I think, is not doing nearly as well as Super Rare. And you can track these stats. Like if you go to cryptoart.io, you can see that Super Rare these past couple months is often bringing in more sales than even Nifty Gateway. So they're absolutely crushing it. So that would be the main reason, financially to go for Super Rare over Maker's Place. But artistically, it makes more sense to mint on Maker's Place. It's a really tricky one. That's kind of what I'm grappling with too. Is where do you put these? Like Nifty is great too because it supports up to 300 megabytes, but then nobody can get on Nifty. So the top two So Maker's Place, I don't know. Maybe
Why
it'll
don't they
come
just
back.
fix?
We'll
Like, why are
see,
they not
but, yeah,
fixing
it's
these things?
not been doing super hot lately.
Can't these platforms just work on that a little bit? Like, what is the big issue that makes it so that they
I don't
can't
understand what the issue is.
support?
It
a
doesn't
little
make
bit?
sense. And I literally called Super Rare out on Twitter and talked to some people, some of their staff, and they're just like, yeah, it's too much coding right now, too much of a hassle to upgrade that. It's in the works. But so maybe I'll just wait until that time, to do the drop.
That's
Interesting.
just so weird because that should be a priority because that's what it's all about. I mean,
Yeah.
being able to
Seriously.
upload.
One thing that can really help is After Codecs. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but it's a plugin for Premiere and After Effects, and it does a way better job at compressing. So I've had some big successes with that. Often I just go through, the regular old Premiere H.264,
Right.
like either VBR or CBR. But After Codecs, I think, can pack more data in there somehow. It just has different compression algorithms. You can set it to slow, like either a speed of 0 or 1, and it'll take a lot longer, but it'll do a better job. I typically try both the standard compression in Media Encoder or Premiere and compare that to the compression I can get out of After Codecs. Just lay them over top of each other in After Effects and toggle one off and on to see which one's better. But yeah, that's my only tip as far as handling compression is try out After Codecs.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Well, I should probably wrap this up and go have a kid.
Yeah. Go have a baby.
Go have a baby.
Send us pictures.
Like you do. Thanks for joining us for episode 300, everybody, and
Yeah, it was
David
super
Ariew, and of course EJ, who is not
EJ just
here
dropped
anymore.
out randomly. Yeah.
His phone finally died, and he's walking
Yep.
around in the forest without a phone. He might be lost.
Right.
Yeah.
I sure hope he doesn't get murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we won't have to send a rescue party.
Yeah, he might have to use the sun in order to figure out where he needs to go. So, another note
It's
that
just fun, y'all.
there's no show.
Yeah.
There's no show next Monday because next Monday was supposed to be our induction date, but there probably still is no show next Monday because
You'll be
Baby.
in the thick of it.
in the thick of it, into the thick of it.
Yeah.
But
So-
I'll see you guys for the Halloween episode.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's what I was gonna say. If there's anything we didn't talk about today, we'll definitely probably bring it back up in a couple weeks. It's gonna be
Also, for all my
Yeah.
Denver peeps, Chelsea and I are planning a pretty epic Halloween party. So I'm excited about that. We've already bought way too many decorations, so we're gonna try to go all out on this one.
any NFT
and-
themes.
We were maybe gonna do an NFT invite. Chelsea's been making
Mm.
a really cute art thing, but I don't know how much that makes sense. It might just add to the stress and hassle
Right.
of the whole thing. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Cool. All right, well, we're going to get out of here. You can rate us on
Yep.
iTunes, leave a review, subscribe on your podcatcher of choice. Helps get our ratings up. Subscribe to the newsletter. Went out last week. You can say you've been there, done that. Got the t-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Bab Feel the Bad 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. The Render Things t-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee. The That Render is Fire shirt, which you're only allowed to wear ironically, unless you're Shams.
Unless you're Shams.
Let's see. And the Mograph Blandishment shirt, if you're interested in that. Check that out. Mograph.com/merch. And of course, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Mograph.com. Check out the TikToks. I did one the other day, and people seem to like it. So check us out on there. And of course, David, if people want to get a hold of you, I think they pretty
Yep.
much know how. But
Yeah,
you
I'm just
know.
David Ariew, like my name, on Twitter and Instagram, and arievvisuals.com. That's with two V's in the middle there, so I'm forcing you to pronounce my name correctly.
yeah.
But it looks like a W. And yeah, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's pretty much it. I'm mostly on Twitter nowadays, thanks to NFTs. I've been ignoring Instagram. I've abandoned Instagram, and it's sad at me. But yeah,
It's all right.
it's okay.
All
I'm
right.
trying to buy one of these surreals.
Do it.
I gotta transfer some money first.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well, then we're going to
Don't,
go.
but
We're-
I also, if it's a flop, I don't want to be held
It's okay.
responsible.
Right.
It's
The views expressed by David
$200.
Ariew are
I-
not necessarily the views of anyone else.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get out of here. Until next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm David.
Have a good one.
Later,
Later,
yo.
yo. That was fun. That was like a short show for us.
Right.
I know, right?
Dave, congrats, man.
Yes.
So good.